A critical district tilt takes place at the home of the Arlington Colts here this evening on what is turning into a breezy but beautiful day for baseball. Live on YouTube, it's High School Baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing. The pregame show, presented by Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services, is coming up right after this. John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
If you're a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage, or perhaps just navigating the complexities of Medicare, look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent agency with over 50 years of experience, specializing in tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need property, liability, commercial auto, or even life and health insurance, their agents can help you feel secure in selecting the insurance you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 817-265-3346.
Taqueria Taco Express is now the official taqueria of Zach Arnold Productions. They feature 3 convenient locations, including 2 in Arlington and the original site on the Grand Prairie border at I-20 in Great Southwest. Their Taco Tuesday special includes 5 tacos and an agua fresca for just $10. Made from scratch with authentic recipes, you can place single or bulk orders online by going to taqueriatacoexpress.com. It's been a little helter-skelter getting everything put together. And before I go any further, apologies are in order to everybody that I've frustrated during the pregame setup, especially my cohort, Jot Holly, who is also scrambling to get lineups put together as the lineups are being exchanged at home plate. Thank you, everyone, for your patience and for your patronage and for tuning in to this evening's broadcast. The Arlington Colts have won 3 out of the last 4 against South Grand Prairie, but the Warriors are predicted to be the district favorite going into this district season. They're off to a 2-0 start after sweeping the Sam Houston Texans, which is who Bowie is playing this week, and that game is also live on the Zap Network. The pregame show is presented by our friends at Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services, Inc. They're a family-owned business who have served the Arlington area for decades. Don't let insurance be a hassle. Chapman Cornelius can help you create a custom insurance plan tailored to your small business's needs and budget. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 3346 or go to www.chapman-cornelius.com. Arlington comes into this ball game with a 1-1 district record, 6-9 overall. But one of the most impressive elements of their district win was a very, very rare, perfect game that was pitched by the starter of today's ball game, Danny Bustamante. That bodes really well for these Arlington Colts with a lot of experience in Danny, having been a freshman ball player a couple of years ago. The junior now comes in with a lot of confidence after throwing 4 perfect innings against Boswell during tournament play and then going the full 6 in a 10-0 win against the Haltom Buffaloes. Arlington fell by a score of 6-3 in their other ball game against the Buffaloes here on their home opener. Coach Brian Womack spoke to me before the game saying that he felt like Arlington's defense shot themselves in the foot and is hoping for a better fundamental performance than what they had on Friday's game. One of the bright spots, though, is the shortstop turned closer, Mason Hensley, who came in relief and gave up no hits while striking out 6 to try to hold the Buffaloes as best as he could. Unfortunately, he did not get the run support that he needed to bring the win home. But somebody who could talk about it much better than I could finally has the headset on. Jot Holly, you were here for that game on Friday. What can you attest about Arlington that you saw on Friday that you're hoping they can take the benefits from, but also learn from the mistakes they had prior?
Fundamentals. Fundamentals are key when you play in any sport, baseball, basketball, football. Fundamentals of the game are what's important. And the defense was not fundamentally sound. There were 6 errors in the game against Haltom on Friday. 3 of those by tonight's starting pitcher, Danny Bustamante. He had 2 at third base before Mason Hensley came into pitch. When Bustamante went over to third, the short, he then had another error. 6 errors total by the Colts, what shot them in the foot. Mason Hensley pitched a great game. He had 8 strikeouts in that game in relief for Alvarado. Alvarado had pitched a good game early. He was getting not hit hard, but with the wind and the way the game was with that dust storm, everything was pushing the ball away. Haltom let the ball come to them, took their time to fire. Arlington rushed every throw that they had in the infield. It was the infield's mistakes that cost them that game between Alvarado's pitching and Hensley's pitching and relief outing.
Well, we will have a really good look at this team in what is possibly their biggest district tilt to date. Starters have been announced. We will announce who those starters are when we return from the break. Special thanks to our friends at Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services, Inc. for presenting the pregame show and for our friends at John Wade Roofing for being our title partners. National anthem is about to take place, and then after that, it's baseball time in Texas. This broadcast is the intellectual property of Zach Arnold Productions. Any use of their multimedia, including audio, video, images, and other content, may not be repurposed without prior express consent of Zach Arnold Productions. We thank you for your cooperation and for tuning in to tonight's broadcast.
Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to hear Zach talk about things beyond the realm of sport, catch him with me, Ben Hart, on the Intergalactic Peace Coalition podcast. For nearly a decade, we've been geeking out on IPC about our favorite nerdy things. We have a back catalog of over 350 episodes diving into sci-fi and fantasy stories like no one else. New episodes drop monthly featuring news, reviews, discussions, and tangents on all our favorite franchises, including Marvel, DC, Star Trek, Star Wars, Stranger Things, Harry Potter, Jurassic Park, Dune, Godzilla, Firefly, Pixar, Doctor Who, Indiana Jones, The Last of Us, James Bond, House of the Dragon, Ghostbusters. I think you get the picture. Find the Intergalactic Peace Coalition at ipcpodcast.podbean.com or download via your favorite podcast app.
Arlington is the home team, obviously, so they will be on defense first. Let's take a look at the defensive alignment for your Arlington Colts. Over at first base, it's Matthew Wynn, the Austin College commit. At second base, Hayden White. At third base, Abe Alvarado. The Kansas City, Kansas College commit Mason Hensley is at shortstop. Yadier Gomez plays left. Gannon Howard's in center field, and London Prater is in right. The Austin College commit and two-time Defensive Player of the Year for District 8-6A is behind the plate, Jeremiah Taylor. And taking the mound, the junior number 4, who had a perfect game in his last outing, Danny Bustamante. Zach Arnold and Jot Holly on the call for the game between the Colts and the South Grand Prairie Warriors. There's 2 Warriors in this district, both of them formidable foes, but Jot, there's only one of them that's off to a 2-0 start, and that's South Grand Prairie.
First thing you want to do when you come out in the district play, no matter what the tournament's like, we're like in preseason, you come out with a 2-0 district win, even though it was against Sam Houston, I believe, who they swept last week. Sam Houston is not the same type of opponent that Arlington and Bowie is. Not discrediting kids at Sam Houston, but there's different calibers when you play a team in baseball. To come out 2-0 in district is nothing to scoff at. But Arlington, I believe, had a tougher task playing a 10-4 team at Haltom, getting a perfect game the first game, and actually outplaying them and out hitting them the second game, minus the errors that came back to haunt the Colts. So the Colts, I think, have had a tougher task the first few games, and something that they can look forward to and build on is that they took the best team in the district to task last week.
South Grand Prairie and Arlington do have a couple of mutual opponents. Arlington beat Richland by a score of 6-3 in a wild 7th-inning comeback, and then they fell 6-3 against Burleson Centennial. South Grand Prairie has played those same Richland Royals and beat them during tournament play by a score of 10-0, and then fell at the hands of the Centennial Spartans by a score of 6-4. So both teams 1-1 versus mutual opponents. Both teams with high expectations during this tournament season. Both of them with a lot to prove for district standings. Leading off for South Grand Prairie as we get ready to start this ball game, it'll be the third baseman Isaac Rios, followed by the shortstop Robert Martinez. Center fielder Dalen Brooks bats third, and if we get to him, Ruben Carranza will bat cleanup playing second base. Angel Arpero, the first baseman, bats fifth. Zach Shepler, the pitcher, bats sixth. Taryn McGrew, the right fielder, will be seventh. The designated hitter is Giovanni Orozco, batting eighth, and Jake Ross will round out the lineup for the South Grand Prairie Warriors.
Going to be key for Bustamante to see how if he put Friday's performance away in his head and come out and pitch an early big game.
First pitch is away for ball one, and we are underway here at Arlington High. Fastball blows right by him for strike number one. Go ahead and hit that share button on YouTube if you would, and let the folks know that we are underway. Strike gets called. We had to wait for the signal from the umpire. Ball two was issued prematurely on the scoreboard here at Colt Field, as it is a ball and 2 strikes. Ball two, low and away.
That ball's going to be low in the dirt, full count. Bustamante after jumping out to that quick 1-2 count. Now looking at a full count, 3-2. You don't want to put the leadoff batter on base early. Bustamante with the shades on the mound. Got that inner Eric Gagne look. The 3-2 pitch from Bustamante. Ball swung on, hit. It's coming right at me, and I'm going to... Nope. Stayed in play. Jeremiah Taylor catches it, and Bustamante runs him over in the process. But he is down. Ball looked up. We looked up at it. It looked like it was coming directly towards us. Jeremiah Taylor makes the play behind home plate. But there was a collision behind home plate between Taylor and Bustamante, calling each other off. That's going to be out number one. And while they check on Bustamante, we're going to step aside for a quick commercial break. This is Arlington Colt Baseball, presented to you by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back.
John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades, and they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com.
After a dangerous play behind home plate, Bustamante is able to get up under his own power. He walks it off, get a couple practice pitches there, warm-up pitches to Jeremiah Taylor. The play was it was a fly ball. It looked like it was coming foul out behind home plate towards us. We were sitting kind of catty corner to home plate. Ball stayed in. The wind pushed it in. Jeremiah Taylor's calling for it. Bustamante's calling for it. Taylor brings it in, catches it, gets to out number one. But Bustamante was in on that collision while we're all lost looking for the ball. But now that Bustamante's up and safe, we have out number one. So we have a new batter, Martinez, the third. The first pitch to Martinez. Sweet low, ball one. Bustamante coming off of a perfect game in his last outing. Tuesday versus Haltom with a 10-0 win. Friday he had 3 errors. Hopefully he can put this in. The 1-0 pitch is fouled, out of play, out to the parking lot. 1-1 count. Good thing my car is on the opposite side of the ballpark. 1-1 count. One away here, the top of the first. Your Colts taking on the South Grand Prairie Warriors. The 1-1 pitch to inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Beautiful windy night here at Arlington. The wind is coming from west to east. So it's coming from home plate down the left field line. The 2-1 pitch. That ball is actually foul. This one's going into the parking lot, and it is foul over the parking lot and over the net. 2-2. We are going to need somebody to chase balls here at Arlington High School as the netting has not been able to keep anything in play. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Martinez, the number 2 batter. The ball is hit back up the middle over Bustamante's head. It's going to bounce into center field, and that's going to be an outfield single. First runner on for the Warriors after a single over Bustamante's head, and that's going to bring up the number 3 batter, Brooks. Number 10. South Grand Prairie comes out in their yellow uniform tops, white bottoms, red belt, red helmet. Very Arizona State Sun Devil-esque. For those who are interested in what college sports uniforms look like, very Arizona State. The 1-0 pitch. That's a strike. Good placement by Jeremiah Taylor to hold that ball out so the ump can get a good call on it.
Click on the camera first, and then click the down arrow until it's all the way at the bottom.
0-1, and Bustamante fires over the first, gets the runner back safely. These Warriors have speed. Martinez, the number 2 batter, he has some speed out there at first. Matthew Wynn is sitting on the plate, holding him back. 0-1 count still. The number 3 hitter, Brooks. The 0-1 pitch, high, inside. Good pop-up by Jeremiah Taylor to make sure that Martinez is not going to get that run, that he get that movement over to second base. 1-1 count. Top of the first. Colts wearing their white homes with the green lettering, green pinstripes down the uniforms. 1-1 pitch high. Looks like a pitch out there. 2-1. Taylor's ready. He's making sure that Martinez, if he gets big enough lead, Martinez is going to have to use his speed to try to steal second. Big number 10 Brooks is in the batter's box. He's kind of tall for a high school kid. Fires over the first, back in time. Martinez there, they have an eye on him, making sure he doesn't steal second. No good lead. Matthew Wynn sitting at first, just in case. 2-1 count, 1 away, top of the first. 2-1 pitch. High again, 3-1. Dusted Brooks off the plate a little bit. You might be able to hear the fans in the background. Here at Arlington High School, packed house between the Warriors and the Colts. The fans are telling Bustamante, don't worry, you got this. 3-1 count.
Same type of comments in the chat from Tia Norma as well.
3-1 from Busta. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Full count. Show me some cheese and I'll let you hit it. And he wasn't able to hit it. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Full count. Booster, his favorite team is the Rangers. Those Rangers start opening day soon. Booster, he has the potential to be one of those Rangers. 3-2 pitch, swung on, hit down the left field line. That ball is going. It is off the left field wall. Left fielder throws it in. You have a runner at second. He stops at third. Brooks is going to walk into second with a double. That ball was shot out of a cannon. Wow. The power Brooks displayed there on the 3-2 pitch. He swung on it. He just missed a homer off the wall. 312 down the left field line, 350 to left center. That ball was about 325. It was in between 312. It was in between the wall down off the John Wade roofing sign. Shout out to our sponsors, John Wade Roofing, for all that you do.
Yeah, that was a hard hit ball on a payoff pitch, and it's just a battle on power against power, and Brooks wins that. Back on the call after doing some troubleshooting for the Sam Houston versus Bowie ball game. Had to make a quick call. Thanks for stepping in there, Jot. That's why we put 2 people at each ball game, just in case something goes wrong and I have to slide into executive producer role instead of play-by-play.
I always thought it was just in case one of us needed a hot dog, we have somebody to tag.
Well, that too, or a potty break, or a Red Bull, all kinds of reasons.
He's going to step up the number 4 man, Carranza, the cleanup man in this lineup. And he's cleaning up nothing there. Strike 1. 1 out still in the top of the first. Runners on third and second. Colts are trying to keep those runners where they're at. Big cleanup man, Carranza, end the plate. Bustamante, 0-1 count. Runner at third, looks like he wants to run. 0-1, swung, looked at. Strike 2.
Good placement there.
Good placement, fastball. Busta with the Eric Gagne glasses to those Dodger fans that know what I'm talking about. He had the cannon, he had a great arm, good closer for the Dodgers back in the early 2000s. 0-2, swung on, foul tip, and that
Right
is
to us.
Right to us. And there it goes, and it's by me.
I got about 5 feet away from you, Jot.
Hey, that's in our luggage.
We get a lot of atmosphere when we broadcast al fresco. The camera's up in the press box, but we are not. We are 10 feet behind the backstop here, which is not a very deep backstop.
I have the ball in my hand. 0-2 count. Bustamante.
Suicide squeeze squared up for.
Carranza's going to drop down. He fires over.
That's an interesting call.
I want to thank our fans here at Arlington for giving a little ball help. I had a baseball in my hand. I enjoyed it for a moment. I was ready.
Have you seen those clips of the guy who actually catches the foul ball in the midst of his play-by-play?
No, but it could have been me. The 0-2 inside, runs too far inside, and that's going to walk him and load the bases. On an 0-2 count, he had a chance to strike him out, but he led too far in, so Carranza's going to take his base at first.
After the colliding foul out, it's been a single, a double, and a hit by pitch to load it up for the Warriors here in the top of the first inning. Angel Arpero, the next man up for South.
Bustamante still has a chance to get out of this inning unscathed.
Oh, absolutely. A double play.
Double
You
play.
can get the force at home. There's still all kinds of potential here. Just can't get too much into your own headspace is the problem.
First pitch coming. Busta. Ball swung on down the third base line. That's going to be foul into the Colts dugout. 1 down. 0 balls, 1 strike. Arpero, the number 5 man in this Warriors lineup. Dangerous lineup. Bases loaded, 1 out.
Well, they won 15-2 and 11-0 against Sam Houston in their 2 district ball games last week. Got an overall record of 9 wins, 3 losses, and 2 ties thanks to tournament play.
The 0-1 pitch from Busta. Ball swung on, hit down the third base line. That's going to be in the gap. Mason Henson's not able to field it. Rolls to left fielder fires to third, cut off. That's going to have 2 runners score for the Gophers.
Gophers.
Now the Gophers, the Warriors. Wrong Grand Prairie
Wrong
team.
Grand Prairie.
Sorry. It's going to be 2 runs in by the Warriors after that single past the shortstop. And that's going to give the Warriors a 2-0 lead in the top of the first.
Martinez and Brooks coming in to score. Carranza moves over to second base. It's a 2 RBI single for the first baseman, and the pitcher for tonight's ball game in the 6th spot, Zach Shepler. Good, strong name, Zach.
Shepler, the right-hander, steps in. Yellow uniforms, white writing, SGP across the chest. First pitch, swung on. Pass Mason Hensley to the shortstop. It's going to go into left field again. Left fielder brings it. He fires on. He fires. Cut off. It's going to be a play at the plate, and he is going to be out. Good play by
What
Jeremiah
a relay!
Alvarado relayed it over to Taylor, and he was able to get the runner coming home. 2 away. Keeps a run off the board.
That's a base hit over to left, fielded by Gomez, gets the relay to Alvarado, gets the throw to JT, and they get the second out at home. What a great defensive play to take a run off the scoreboard. But it will be a single to Shepler, but he will not get the RBI.
Great play by Taylor. That's why he's an all-district catcher, defensive player of the year for the district last year.
And the year before that.
And the year before that, he's going places. That kid, he's going places behind the plate somewhere, anywhere. The first pitch to the big lefty, McGrew. Be a swinging strike, strike one. McGrew, one of the lefties in this Warrior lineup. Righty on lefty matchup. Busta. Face paint and all with a 1-0 count. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Low.
Ooh.
Ball one.
Just below the knees there.
Runner on second. Runner on first. 2 away. 2 have already came across the score for the Warriors. Here at this crowded, nice little ballpark, Arlington High School.
I would dare say it's a sellout. It's standing room only. It's going to get away from Jeremiah Taylor, and both runners will advance another 90 feet on the pass ball. Not a very deep backstop, but if the catcher loses it, that's evidence of what can happen there, Jot.
Yeah, that with losing the ball like that on a wild pitch puts 2 runners back into scoring position. That's something you don't need when you're trying to get out the inning without any more damage against you. Like you said, it's a beautiful night. Sell out here. I would say at Arlington High, some standing room left. A few seats next to us, but other than that, everybody else pretty here. Happy. Hot dogs flying, burgers flying. Balls getting hit to left field, and the Colts are looking to get this inning over with. 2-1 count. The big lefty McGrew, number 7 batter in this Warrior lineup. Booster kicks, fires. Swung on, the ball's hit high in the air. They're calling for it out in the outfield. Center fielder's going to be able to bring it in, and that's going to end the inning. But not without 2 runs coming across the score in the top of the first. Colts turn the bat after this. This is Zach Arnold Productions bringing you Colt Radio, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Taqueria Taco Express is now the official taqueria of Zach Arnold Productions. They feature 3 convenient locations, including 2 in Arlington and the original site on the Grand Prairie border at I-20 in Great Southwest. Their Taco Tuesday special includes 5 tacos and an agua fresca for just $10. Made from scratch with authentic recipes, you can place single or bulk orders online by going to taqueriatacoexpress.com.
If you're like me and need printed materials to get your brand out there to the community, then you need ICA Signs. Conveniently located in central Arlington, ICA features a wide selection of shirts, hats, banners, yard signs, acrylics, magnets for your car, magnets for your fridge, tumblers, A-frames, and more. Call ICA at 817-617-2229 for more information and tell them Zap sent you.
South got a couple of runners across, but thanks to some good defense, all they were able to plate was 2. Very manageable for your Colt offense, and we'll go ahead and bring you the starting lineup for your Colts. Leading off, it's the pitcher turned designated hitter whenever his evening is done. Number 4, Danny Bustamante. Batting second at shortstop, number 10, Mason Hensley. Batting third at first base, number 25, Matthew Wynn. Cleanup hitter is the only man who has multiple home runs on this Arlington roster. Number 18, London Prater. He'll be followed by Abe Alvarado, the third baseman who also went yard in the last district series. Center fielder number 2, Gannon Howard, bats 6th. He also has a home run this season. Batting 7th, the second baseman, Hayden White. The catcher, Jeremiah Taylor, bats 8th. And Yadir Gomez rounds out the order for your Arlington Colts. The defensive alignment for South Grand Prairie, Arpero is at first, Carranza is at second, Rios is at third, Martinez is at short, Ross is in left, Brooks is in center, but Grew is in right. And the battery behind the plate, number 22, Ethan Daniels, and on the mound, Zach Shepler.
Colts have a chance here to make some runs. Get some runs from themselves. You're gonna lead off with your pitcher, Bustamante, who's also a good hitter. He can come up and do some work, try to get out of this 2-0 hole to start the game. Sorry,
That's easy for you to say.
2-0 hole. The first pitch he looks at is a breaking ball for a strike.
Still waiting for the lights to come all the way on here at Colt Field.
Busta in his last game went 0 for 2, had 2 walks. As he looks at a ball that bounces out of the catcher's glove, ball 1 count. Yeah, doing 0 for 2, had 2 walks. He was able to get on base and do some damage for the Colts in the losing effort 6-3 to Holtum on Friday. One pitch to Busta. Ball swung on. That's foul. Over to E-Hall. If that is still named E-Hall, back in the day it was D-Hall and E-Hall were right to my left.
Yeah, you're an alumnus of this school. You're very familiar with those different halls and going up and down them for various classes. But it's been a while for you, hasn't it?
I remember a few home runs hit through C Hall over here down the right field line. 1-2 pitch, foul. Foul tip back into backstop. Sorry, too many words. One thought at a time. 1-2 count to Bustamante, your starting pitcher, leadoff man for the Colts tonight. Shepler, the big right-handed pitcher, up on the mound. The 1-2 pitch. Low, 2-2. Trying to get Busta to chase at a ball in the dirt.
It's a good eye by Bustamante. Building himself a quality at-bat here, working the count back even.
2-2 count to the junior Bustamante. His favorite food is steak. Hopefully he's ready to eat. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball high. 3-2. Good job working it full again.
Yeah, and Ethan Daniels tried to frame that, grabbing it near the chin area of Bustamante and bring it back down to his chest, but the man behind the plate was not having it.
Mason Hensley on deck, number 10. 3-2 count to Busta. Pitch. That ball swung on, foul into the netting right in front of us. Full count. Let's do it again. All the fans here at Arlington High School and all the teammates all rave about Bustamante. He's a good kid, smart kid, good pitcher, good hitter, good all-around teammate. 3-2 count. Ball swung on, hit high. Second baseman's calling for it. He's gonna be able to get under it. He's looking, and he brings it in. But there's a little bit harder than it should have been. One away in the top of the first, the bottom of the first. After that, F4.
The wind will be a factor for the next little bit. The foreseeable future will have some windy conditions playing into the way that you set up your defensive alignment and how you communicate with your teammates. Unfortunately, some miscommunication taking place in the previous half inning, but luckily Bustamante was able to get back to the mound.
First pitch to the new batter, Hensley, is low and in the dirt, ball 1. Mason Hensley went 1 for 4 on Friday. He had a double in the first inning off of the 350 sign. The ball that any other night would have been a home run. Came into relief, got 8 strikeouts that day too. 1-0 pitch in the dirt, right in front of the home plate, 2-0. Mason Hensley did a great job in his relief outing on Friday. 8 strikeouts for the shortstop playing catcher that day. High Nolan Ryan kicked. 2-0 pitch outside, 3-0. And Hensley might be ready to take first base if possible. Hensley, the left-hander, looks at a ball. That bounces out the catcher's glove, but it's going to be a ball inside. That's going to take your base, Mason Hensley. The Colts have a runner on first after a 4-pitch walk. Big number 25, Matthew Wynn, is going to step into the batter's box. What you hear, folks, is a lot of wind behind me for Matthew Wynn, the first baseman. He was 0 for 3 in his last game. Flew out. He had a lot of hard hit balls out into the infield during the windstorm we played in on Friday. Just couldn't find the gaps. But he was able to get good contact. First pitch, that ball's gonna be hit down the right field line. It's gonna be over the first baseman's head, and that is foul. That was about 3 feet down the right field line from being fair. That could have brought Mason Hensley almost home with the speed that he has at first.
Yeah, Arpero over at first base took a look at it. McGrew shaded over from right field to see if he could do anything with it. It was about a foot too far foul.
0-1 count to Matthew Wynn, big number 25. A lot of famous 25s in baseball. Matthew Wynn is one of them. Most famous I can think of is Barry Bonds, the left-hander for the Giants. 0-1 pitch, check swing. The ball ends up in the dirt, but the umpire said he went around. 0-2 count. No balls, 2 strikes to first baseman Wynn. Mason Hensley at first, good lead at first base.
He's a multi-sport athlete. He's got some speed.
0-2 pitch. Swung on, that ball's hit right at the netting, fast in our direction.
Wynn was just a little bit late on that swing, but it was a powerful cut. If he's able to time that a little bit better, that could lead to trouble.
On Friday, Wynn had 3 line drives, all with beautiful contact and power. Just wasn't able to find the gaps against Haltom. In a lot of other ballparks and a lot of other places, and a night that wasn't windy with the sandstorm coming from the west, those would have been base hits. 0-2 pitch. That ball swung on. It's got a lot of power to it. Left fielder's calling for it. And he brings it in. 2 away for the Colts.
The shortstop Martinez pretended like it was straight up in the air and was trying to call for it in shortstop, even though it was well over his head. Good communication there between Ross and Brooks, and there's 2 away now for the cleanup hitter, London Prater.
London Prater, number 18, is playing right field tonight. I can get you a stat on Prater from last game. Last game, London Prater had 2 big doubles, went 2 for 3. One double was I remember off the left field wall on any night would have been a home run any other ballpark. First pitch to Prater looked at for strike 1.
It's that off-speed pitch that just dropped in at the last second.
Prater, the cleanup man in this lineup.
It looked high for about 90% of the pitch, and then that last 10%, it dips into the zone.
Hensley at first, 0-1 pitch, breaking ball. Ross tried to place it, but it's going to be outside, 1-1.
Yeah, Ethan Daniels and Jeremiah Taylor both seem very skilled at trying to frame pitches to try to convince the umpire. Sometimes you get the call, sometimes you don't.
1-1 pitch, high, swung at. No contact at all, 1-2.
That's a big, juicy pitch that's eyeball level. It looks great initially, and then you have trouble getting your bat up that high to make contact with it.
1-2 pitch after that. 1-2 pitch coming up after that ball swung on by the eyes. Hensley at first. The 1-2 pitch. Hensley goes, and he swung on and missed. Strikeout either way. That's going to end the inning after being struck out. Mason Hensley left on base. The Colts go down. Nothing on the scoreboard. 2-0 going to the top of the second. This is Zach on Productions bringing you Colt Baseball, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Page's Pretty Roots is a Texas-based small business where you can discover handcrafted treasures designed to nurture your body and soul. From custom t-shirts that showcase your unique style to nourishing sugar scrubs and moisturizers made with love. Whether you're looking for a fun fashion statement or all-natural self-care, you'll find something special here. Shop now and experience the magic of handmade by scanning the QR code or searching Page's Pretty Roots on Etsy.com.
Hey, this is John Wade Jr., Colt Football 97. class of 98. And the next time you have a roofing issue, be sure and call Arlington's favorite roofer, John Wade Roofing. Look us up on the internet at johnwaderoofing.com.
And stay in a rhythm instead of doing 1-1.
Back to live action here at Colt Field. Zach Arnold and Jot Holly bringing you this District 8-6A tilt between the Colts and the South Grand Prairie Warriors. Jot, the Martin Warriors seem to be off to a bit of a slow start this season with only 4 wins on the year and got swept by Lamar last week. So when we're talking about potential favorite Warriors of the district, usually those two teams are synonymous, South and Martin, but depending on how the rest of the district season plays out, it could be South that's looking like the front runner Warriors and maybe the front runners of the district.
Yeah, it's interesting when your district play starts off. Obviously, there's a new approach from going tournament play to district play. But when your leading district teams are Haltom and South Grand Prairie and Bowie and that extent, and Lamar
Lamar's 2-0 now
after sweeping Martin, the first pitch to the number 8 hitter Orozco be a strike. Good pitch by Bustamante. We have other teams that are starting off 1-1 and 2-0. You can't have just 4 wins for the season and expect to win district or even make the playoffs at that matter for this strong district that we're in. 0-1 pitch was a ball, 1-1. Orozco, the number 8 hitter, the big righty. Busta, 1-1 pitch outside. Taylor tried to place it, but not getting the call. 2-1.
Yeah, tried to paint the corner with the heater brush and went a little bit too far outside the lines. Orozco is DHing today for the catcher, Ethan Daniels.
The 2-1 pitch hit down the left field line. Gamez, ball bounces right in front of him. That's going to be a bloop single. Had good contact to it. Ball hung up in the air, bounced right in front of Gamez, the left fielder. That's going to put a runner on for the Warriors here in the top of the second. To bring up the number 9 hitter, Ross. That is the 5th hit Bustamante has allowed this game. And not even an inning in the third yet. The number 9 hitter in the lineup, Ross. Behind him is going to be the number 1 hitter, Rios. So the Warriors are about to bat around to the top of their lineup by the end of this inning. First pitch from Busta, high. Ross drops down a bunt. He brings it back in time. Be ball 1, eye level. Ross looks like he's trying to move Orozco over from first to second. Ross, number 25, the big left-handed hitter. One of 2 left-handed hitters in this Warrior lineup. Ross drops down a bunt. Foul, back to the netting. Again, coming our way. Seen a lot of balls coming our direction today.
They've all been going backwards, which is interesting because the wind is pushing away from us and swirling kind of towards center field. So to have this much action coming our direction is rather unexpected, to say the least.
Busta has a 1-1 count to Ross. Orozco, who got a single in his last at bat, is sitting at first. 1-1. Ross drops down another bunt. Taylor pops up, fires to second, and he is going to be safe. That ball bounces out of the glove of Mason Hensley. Good job, though, by Jeremiah Taylor. Popped up, got it in time. Ball one bounced into Mason Hensley's glove, not able to bring it in. It's going to be a stolen base, runner on second.
Scoreboard shows a second strike at the plate, so unless that was miscounted.
Ross had dropped down the bunt.
He dropped a bunt and didn't pull back in time.
Didn't pull back in time.
So it'll be a ball and 2 strikes now. Man in scoring position, though, for the Warriors.
And Orozco's going to have the stolen base.
He's squaring up again with 2 strikes.
Swings, misses, strike 3. Good strikeout by Danny Bustamante. Ross had dropped down a bunt like he was gonna sacrifice himself again. 1-2 count. Pulled back in time, took a big hack, wasn't able to connect. 1 down. Could bring up the number 1 batter in the lineup, Rios. And the strikeout of Ross is Bustamante's first strikeout of the night.
In his last outing, Bustamante recorded 13 strikeouts. So this young man is very capable when it comes to attacking the strike zone.
Orozco on second. 1 away, top of the second. Rios in. Rio looks at a ball in the dirt. Ball 1. Rios. And his first at bat flew out. That's with had the contact behind home plate between Jeremiah Taylor and Danny Bustamante. That's kind of what started the first inning. After the collision, things kind of went down from there for the Colts. 1-0 count to Rios. And the dirt again, ball 2. Orozco has a good lead at second. Bustamante is trying to get out of this inning, put a goose egg up and get the Colts back out there with a chance to hit. 1 away, the top of the second. 2-0 South Grand Prairie over the Arlington High Colts here at Arlington High School on a windy Tuesday night. 2-0 pitch, that ball swung on. Great power down the right field line, down the right field. Bounces off the 350 sign in right center. Rio's going to go into second, standing up. That's going to bring in Orozco going home, touches home, and that's going to give the Warriors a 3-0 lead on a deep ball hit off the right center field line, a right center field wall. Warriors 3-0 over the Colts.
And it puts another runner back into scoring position as Rios replaces Orozco, essentially. And Martinez got a single in his last at-bat. Single here could potentially plate another run. Arlington needs to minimize the damage.
So far this inning, Orozco has a single and a stolen base. Ross struck out on an attempted bunt. Rios, the last batter you saw, double RBI off the 350 sign in right center field. Now Martinez, the number 2 man in the lineup, got, like you said, he got a single in his first at bat. Right after the collision, he's up to bat. 1 run has already came across the score in the top of the second. The first pitch had good pop, but didn't find the mark. Ball 1.
Well, and what I'm noticing is that South is kind of being patient at the plate and waiting to see Busta's fastball before they offer at it. It looks to be a tactic to try to figure out exactly what his velocity is so they can time their swings in the later portion of the at-bat.
1-0 pitch. That ball swung on. Deep ball to center field. Howard's going to get under it. Howard's going to bring it in. Has to be 2 away. Top of the second. Going to keep Rios where he's at second.
And there's 2 away now.
And it's going to bring up the number 3 man in the lineup, Brooks. Dalen Brooks, number 10. Doubled in his first at bat in the first inning. Two away in the top of the second. 1 run has already came across the score. Rios drove in the RBI on that double. He's standing at second. Dalen Brooks, number 10, the number 3 man in this lineup, who doubled in his first at bat, is sitting at home plate in the batter's box waiting.
Time gets called as Brooks got tired of waiting.
Bustamante with the black face paint. Got the Eric Gagne glasses. Pinstripe uniform, waiting for his first pitch. Gets it. First 1-0. First pitch, the ball is in the dirt. Back to the backstop. Rios is going to scramble over the third. Jeremiah Taylor's not able to get it. Runner is now 90 feet away. Another ball hits Jeremiah Taylor's glove and bounces out to home plate. But these balls are low and in the dirt.
Well, and Bustamante's got a lot of velocity. So if you pitch it in a part of the strike zone that the catcher is not anticipating you'll send it to, you don't have very much reaction time to be able to move your glove over and make the catch accordingly.
Benefit for Jeremiah Taylor is that Arlington has one of the shorter backstops in the district compared to other schools like Bowie, who we've seen, and like Haltom, who we saw last week. So it keeps a lot of balls from getting farther enough away. The 1-0 pitch, low, 2-0. 2-0 count to Dalen Brooks. Rios sitting 90 feet away at third. 2-0 count, 2-0 pitch. Strike, looked at, breaking ball. Good comeback pitch by Bustamante. Brooks has a tight batting stance at home plate. 2-1 pitch. Ball swung on. That's going to go in the parking lot. Foul ball.
Thank goodness it didn't go to my part of the parking lot.
Last week we saw a ball about 3 feet from hitting one of the guests that came from Haltom City, from Haltom High School. Missed his car by about 3 feet to the right. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Dalen Brooks, the number 3 man in this lineup. Bustamante is trying to strike him out to get out of this inning. 2-2 pitch. That ball's hit down the third base line. Alvarado gets it. He has a hard time getting it. He eats him up. And that is going to go as an E5 on Alvarado. And a run's going to score. 4-0 Warriors. Rios was able to score on the error by Alvarado. It ate him up. He had a chance to fire it over just like what we saw in the Haltom game. Not using fundamentals, not taking your time to let the ball hit your glove and fire across first. The Colts infield rushing it.
That'll result in an unearned run and will continue the inning. 4-0 in favor of the visitors now.
Number 4 man, the cleanup man in this lineup, Carranza, hit by a pitch his first at bat. This first pitch is a strike inside. And the South Grand Prairie faithful is not happy about that strike.
A lot of chagrined oohs about 20 feet to our right.
No balls, 1 strike. Brooks at first. 0-1 pitch, runs inside, 1-1. Carranza's hit by his pitch his first at bat. Trying to avoid being hit for a second time. 1-1 pitch in the dirt. Bounces in front of Taylor. Bounces behind Taylor. Brooks is going to take second as Taylor has to get up out of his stance and retrieve that ball. Another ball bounces low in front of the catcher. It's hard.
Yeah, and that's his slider. He's trying to deliver something in the lower half of the zone, and he's letting go of it far too late, and it's not even reaching home plate. In situations like that, you have very little reaction time, especially since you're expecting it to reach your glove instead of bounce in front of it.
2-1 count now to Carranza after another wild pitch from Danny Bustamante, number 4. 2-1. Strike, looked at, 2-2. Let's do this again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on second. See if Bustamante can get out of this inning. In Carranza's last at bat, he saw 2 strikes, and he got hit by a pitch on a ball that ran inside on him. Deuces wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, runner on second. The pitch. Hit. Hensley, the shortstop, fields it, fires over the first. He is out. Good throw by Mason Hensley. That's going to end the inning. After 2 runs came across the score for the Warriors. The Warriors lead 4-0 going into the bottom of the second. The Colts have a chance to come up and bat and try to get some damage, get a run on the scoreboard. This is Colt Baseball presented to you by John Wade Roofing. Zach Arnold Productions will be right back.
Hey, Arlington residents, if you're like me and tired of rising insurance rates, then it's time to make the switch to Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services. Since 1984, they've been your trusted local insurance experts, offering competitive quotes for all your needs. Auto, homeowners, umbrella, renters, boats, and even classic cars. Why settle for less when you can get the best? Compare coverages today and see how much you can save by visiting chapman-cornelius.com. Chapman Cornelius, your local insurance partner since 1984.
Taquería Taco Express es la taquería oficial de Zach Arnold Productions. Extraordinaria y auténtica comida mexicana. Aquí encontrarás el mejor menú para el paladar más exigente. Puedes visitarlos en una de sus 3 sucursales ubicadas en Arlington y en Prairie. No te pierdas de su grandioso especial todos los martes, Taco Tuesday, de 5 tacos y un agua fresca por solo $10. Para encontrarnos o hacer un pedido, visítalos a su página web taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Back to Arlington High School here in the heart of Arlington, down off Cooper and Park Road, where your Arlington Colts trail 4-0 over the trail 4-0 to the South Grand Prairie Warriors.
There you go.
I can figure it out eventually.
I knew you were going to get it.
You know, as the sun goes down, the wasps go away, the mayflies come out, and my brain turns to shut down. So it gets harder as the night goes on. Judd Holly here with Zach Arnold, Zach the Voice, calling your Arlington Colts, who are up to bat here in the bottom of the second. We're going to look at the 5, 6, 7 men in the lineup: Alvarado, Howard, and White.
Yeah, in that series against Haltom, part of the run support that Bustamante got included back-to-back home runs by London Prater and this young man at the plate, Abe Alvarado, his first of the season, and we're hoping not his last.
As Alvarado steps up into the plate with with Don Omar playing in the background. He looks at strike one over the plate.
So far, Shepler has not wowed us with his velocity, but his placement has been solid.
He's doing a good job changing his eye level on the Colts, making them
Yes,
making them swing.
he's going vertical instead of fast slow. It's very true.
The 0-1 pitch. The ball's hit to center field. Center field is going for it. Right fielder's going to call him off. He's going to bring it in. Out number one. F9 in the books for Abe Alvarado.
And that's solid contact that went to that right center field gap, which is something that South did in the previous half inning. Unfortunately, Abe kind of lofted that one into the jet streams a little bit more instead of a line drive, and the right fielder McGrew able to get underneath it for out number one.
It's going to bring up the center fielder Howard, who I saw Howard on Friday make a beautiful diving catch in center field. Dust was flowing, wind was blowing the ball from left to right. Howard hat came off and everything as he dived to make a beautiful out versus Altum. The first pitch to Howard is going to be a breaking ball, strike one, on ball one. Nice night here in Arlington. Winds blowing from home plate down to left field. Flags are blowing left and right to left. 1-0 pitch in the dirt, ball two.
And see, they had been blowing more towards the high school campus out in right field, so it's kind of swirling left and right hand side. So depending on who's at the plate, it could be to your advantage or it might not be.
2-0 pitch. Tries to place it, not able to place it, ball three. 3-0 count to Howard, the center fielder, with White, the second baseman, on deck.
And if he gets aboard, I would bet money that White tries to lay down the bunt in the next at-bat because Gannon Howard is one of the fastest men on the team.
3-0 pitch to Gannon Howard. It's going to be strike. He didn't have the green light there to swing. 3-1.
Yeah, in a situation like that, you're kind of daring them to throw a strike, and that's exactly what Shepler did. Now it's a hitter's count, and he does have some pop to his swing. He's been working on that this season.
3-1 count. Ball's hit. Grounded to the shortstop. Shortstop waits patiently for it. Fires over to first. That ball is going to be caught at first base, out number two. And that's one thing that the Colts haven't been able to do that other defenses have done. Patiently wait for the ball to come for you when it's hit to you in the infield.
Yeah.
Preventing an error. As we saw Abe Alvarado in the top of the second get an error. Last game, the Colts infield had 6 errors, all on balls like that. That were either tough plays that was as they're thrown across their body, or they didn't wait patiently for the ball to get to them. Second baseman White's going to step into the batter's box, 2 away here in the bottom of the second. He's going to look at a low ball. Ball one. White in his last game went 1 for 3, a single, an F8, and a strikeout. Came around to score as he looks at a fastball, not able to catch up to it. Strike one. White also was able to get a stolen base in the game Friday versus Haltom, showing his speed out there on the base paths. 1-1 pitch. Looked at, strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
If such a thing as a makeup call exists, that might be it.
Colts are trying to avoid going down 1-2-3 in this inning. The 1-2 pitch to the second baseman White. Ball swung on, missed, strike 3. The Warriors are able to get the Colts to go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the second. Warriors lead 4-0.
That'll take us to the third inning, and the third inning is presented by our friends at Ika Signs. Located in the heart of Arlington, they offer same-day production on certain rush orders and offer a wide catalog of custom print materials. Call 817-617-2229 to find out how Ika Signs can help your brand's visibility. We'll be right back with more high school baseball on the Zap Network presented by John Wade Roofing.
Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Rami Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 469-951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Rami Pools, LLC. We're going to make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
PDA Advocacy Group would like to remind you that autism is a wide spectrum of neurological differences and it's on the rise, now affecting 1 in 36 Americans and more cases found in males. Those with autism have trouble with social interactions, communication, and can engage in repetitive or self-harming behaviors. While the causes of autism are still being researched, we can begin to learn more by visiting nationalautismassociation.org.
Top of the third inning, we go here at Arlington High School, where your Colts trail the Warriors 4-0. As the Warriors are coming up to bat here in the top of the third. We're going to see the 5, 6, 7 men in this lineup. Arpero, Shepler, the pitcher, and McGraw, the big left fielder. Angel Arpero is going to be the first man you'll see at the top of the third for Danny Bustamante. Arpero in his first at bat singled, and this single brought in 2 runs to give the first 2 runs of the board for the Warriors. Danny Bustamante is back on the mound, only has 1 strikeout just a week after getting 13 strikeouts in his perfect game versus Haltom. The first pitch to Arpero, breaking ball, looked at for strike 1.
Yeah, and I think at this point, Bustamante might be in a similar situation to the one he was in against Boswell, just getting into his own head and needs to find a way out of it, as that'll be a hit by pitch.
Arpero's going to take his place. That's the second hit by pitch that Bustamante has surrendered today versus the Warriors.
Well, and both of them have come against right-handed hitters, meaning that he's trying to attack that right-hand side of the strike zone and is getting a little too far off of the plate.
He's going to bring up the pitcher now, Shepler, who singled in his first at bat. Bustamante has had some struggles today. He's had one strikeout. He's had 2 hit by pitches, and everything else has been a double, single, and another double. 6 hits for the Warriors. Sorry, I cannot count. 5 hits for the Warriors. 2 doubles, 3 singles. And the Warriors have a 4-0 lead. The first pitch to Shepler runs inside, but that's going to be called strike 1. The Warrior fans sitting next to me to my right are not happy about some of these balls that are running inside of their batters.
Well, they're crowding the batter's box, trying to get the hit by pitches, and I think this might be the umpire's way of telling them to shuffle back into the box a little bit more.
0-1 pitch. That ball's hit sky to the left field. Gamez is under it. Left fielder. He's looking for it. He's not able to bring it in, and that ball is going to drop behind him. Scheffler's going to be safe. The runner at second. Arpero slides past the bag. Is able to get back in time. 2 runners are on after a bloop single by Scheffler. The pitcher flies over the head of Gamez.
And the crazy wind swirled around at the very last second, and Gamez was unable to make the catch as it ducked just away from his glove.
This is the second straight game the Colts have played in windy conditions. Both teams have played in windy conditions, but it seems like the visiting team has done a better job of being patient, doing things either the right way, looking for fly balls, looking for ground balls, waiting for the balls to get to them. The Colts, on the other hand, are having more fielding difficulties than their opponents.
So it's a 2-on, nobody out situation for Taryn McGrew.
I believe that went as a loop single. The first pitch, McGrew drops down a bunt. That ball's gonna be caught by Jeremiah Taylor, out number 1. Sacrifice. He tried to squeeze and try to bunt the runners over. Doesn't work in that case. 1 down. Good play by Jeremiah Taylor.
Yeah, and that's just fundamentals. McGrew got the upper part of the bat on the lower part of the ball, went up in the air, and the reigning district defensive player of the year made him pay for it.
After that F2, Jeremiah Taylor is going to bring up the number 8 man, Orozco. His first at bat was in the second inning. He singled and moved over to second on a stolen base. First pitch, low and in the dirt, ball 1.
Yeah, it's that off speeder that he's trying to place in the lower part of the zone. Hasn't been able to place it yet. His best placement has been on the inside corner of the strike zone to these righty hitters. Unfortunately, when he's attacking that area, he's also leading to hit by pitches.
As you were saying, the Warriors are doing a good job of crowding the plate, so it's harder to get some of these pitchers over. 1-0 count for Bustamante. Ball's low, doesn't make it all the way to home plate. Ball 2.
It's that slider again. He's late on the release, and he's trying to attack the lower part of the zone, and he's not even getting to the plate right now.
2-0 count to Orozco, the number 8 man in this lineup. One away here in the top of the third. 2 runners are on. Runner on second, runner on first. Bustamante checks back to second. Kicks, fires. Ball 3. Can't get the placement over the plate.
Yeah, it looks like that one might have tailed away from him a little bit. I think he was trying to go upper middle, and it went upper away instead.
You're wondering how long the leash is on Bustamante after giving him 2 runs the first, 2 runs in the second, though one was unearned because of the error. And now you're 1 ball away from loading the bases. 3 balls, no strikes to Orozco. 3-0 pitch. Strike.
That's in at the knees. It's a good call.
Good call.
And he was taken the whole way, was Orozco. You do that on most 3-0 counts. See if the pitcher can put it over the plate. He does, and it's still a hitter's count here with 3-1 and 1 out.
Arpero on second. Shepler, the pitcher, on first. Orozco, 3-1 count. 3-1 pitch. Ball's hit. Hensley, the shortstop, grounds it, fires to the third, and that's going to be out number 2. Good play by Hensley. Bang,
Oh.
bang.
That was well played. Orozco will reach on the 6-5 fielder's choice. You get the lead runner and the second out. Good defense there.
Jake Ross, the left fielder, 25, is going to come up to bat for his second at bat. The number 9 man in this lineup, he struck out in his first at bat. So the Warriors have gone through their lineup twice now. That means they'll go back to the top of their lineup either at the bottom of this inning or on the top of this inning or in the 4th. Runner on second, runner on first, 2 away. And the first pitch, strike to the lefty, Ross. Wind's picking up from behind me, blowing across home plate, going from home basically right to left. Flags in center field, they're blowing all different directions. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball over the plate. Ball strike 2.
Finally gets the breaking ball where he wants it and gets the strike call. Good placement.
Standing up, I can see that pitch a lot better. It was a perfect placement by Danny Bustamante. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 runners on, 2 outs. Bustamante trying to put a goose egg up for the first time this game. Ross looks like he's going to drop down a bunt. He swings, that ball is hit down the left field line, foul into the home plate, home bullpen, not dugout. Do it again. No balls, 2 strikes. Ross, one of the 2 left-handed hitters in this lineup for the Warriors. McGrew, the other, he flew out to Jeremiah Taylor in his bat earlier this inning. No balls, 2 strikes. Busta checks second. Kicks, fires. And that is strike 3. Good job by Danny Bustamante. First time putting up a goose egg in an inning. That's going to leave 2 runners stranded going into the bottom of the 3rd where the Colts trail 4-0 to the South Grand Prairie Warriors. Zach Arnold Productions bringing you Colt Baseball, presented by John Wade Roofing. Be right back.
A-frames that bring their A game. The next time you need to get your brand out to the community, go with the printers who are in your community, Ika Signs. With everything from wall signs to banners, printed tees to hats, Ika can even do same-day rush orders on select products. Visit ikasigns.com/shop to see their full list. That's ikasigns.com/shop. Ika Signs, a partner of Zach Arnold Productions.
Going to the bottom of the 3rd inning where the Colts trail the Warriors 4-0. And the Colts have yet to bat through their lineup. We're looking at the 8-9-1 hitters for the Colts, leading off Jeremiah Taylor, the catcher. Hopefully Jeremiah Taylor, with his first at bat, dragging something going for the Colts who trail 4-0. Danny Bustamante was able to end that inning with just his second strikeout, both on Ross.
I was about to say, they've been both at Ross's expense, so now it's time to see if he can get those Ks at other parts of the lineup. Judd, this is a series that has been tightly contested, but has actually been in Arlington's favor as of late. Last year was a split series where each team won on the road. The Colts fell 4-0 at home and then pummeled the Warriors by a score of 11-2 last year. And then 2 years before that was the year that Arlington won the district title. Back in 2023, they won 8-0 on the road and 6-5 at home on a walk-off. So the Colts have actually taken 3 of the last 4 of this series. But they've got a little work to do here tonight if they want to make it 4 out of the last 5.
The first of a home and home, you do not want to lose, but you don't want to get shut out. The first of a home and home, as the first pitch to Jeremiah Taylor, and his first at bat is a breaking ball strike. Left-handed batters for South Grand Prairie are 0-4 tonight versus Danny Bustamante. Everybody else is what the problem is. The 0-1 pitch, that ball is hit the left field. Left fielder is able to get to it. He makes a diving catch. Out number 1.
Wow.
Great play in left field. He dives, he catches it, and Jeremiah Taylor is out. And the Warrior fans are excited about that one. That was a good piece of hitting by Taylor, but he just wasn't able to find a gap.
Well, there was a gap out there, but Ross closed that gap as the ball stayed in the air, possibly stayed in the jet stream a little bit too long. Whatever the case may be, great athleticism, the wind, placement, does not matter. It's out number 1.
And for Ross, the left fielder, his 2 at-bats, he struck out. So that's a good way if you're 0-for-2 with 2 strikeouts to make up for it by getting a diving play to keep the Colts from getting a hit. Number 9 man in the lineup, Gamez, the left fielder. First pitch, ground ball to third. Third baseman fires. That ball's in the dirt. The first baseman's not able to scoop it. Gamez falls over first, but he's in safely. But he is on the ground. He might have twisted his ankle on first base.
Yeah, that was a strange play over at first, as it was a weird hop for the first baseman, Arpero, and it was a tough thing to leg out for Gamez. But he seems to be in decent shape.
Be interesting to see if they rule that as a F5.
Oh yeah, that is definitely
As a
that is
E5.
that is definitely an E5 on the throw, because if it doesn't skitter in the ground and bounce out of the glove of Arpero, that is an out. So, in my scorebook,
That's an E5.
as unofficial as it is, that would be credited as an E5 to Rios.
Colts still looking for the first hit here in the bottom of the third. This is the second base runner. The other base runner was Mason Hensley, who walked in his first at bat in the top of the first, on the bottom of the first.
And he was left stranded, unfortunately. But we are back to the top of the order with a man aboard. We'll see if Coach Womack elects to play small ball, see if he can put that left fielder Gamez into scoring position. I have a feeling Busta will be swinging away here simply because you don't know what condition Gamez is in and if he's capable of trying to steal second base.
Bustamante, in second at bat of the game's first at bat, flew out to second base. He drops down a bunt. Gamez is caught in a rundown. He's not
now
able
we're
to
going
get
to test
anywhere.
his legs.
Now we're going to see if he's going to run it to first. He's out. They tried to send him on a bunt.
Got
Hit
too
and
far
run.
away.
That's out number 2. Well, the umpires are saying he might have left the base. They're having a conversation with Coach Womack. Second base, he should be out. Caught in a rundown. Well, Womack's talking to the umpire about something. Gamez is still standing at second.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the conversation would be about.
Shepard is giving the Dikembe Mutombo one finger to Coach Womack. Don't know if Womack sees it, but the Shepard, the pitcher for South Grand Prairie, is getting a little cocky out there on the mound, giving the one finger wave.
The appeal has been made, and the 2 officials are conferring. As it stands, it would be a pickoff from catcher to short to first base, so it would be a 2-6-3 rundown. And the out call is confirmed, so whatever the appeal was, it is for nothing. And that will be the second out now for Bustamante. Bases are cleared up again.
Bustamante still looking for his. He has a 1-0 count. Took a second for the scoreboard operator to put the ball up on the scoreboard. The 1-0 pitch fouled back to the netting. 1-1. Bases are clear. 2 away. Bottom of the third. Bustamante, the pitcher, at the batter's box. His first at bat, he flew out to second. And the umpire has something to say to the South Grand Prairie bullpen. Dugout.
Dugout.
I wonder if anybody's going to notice that Shepler, the pitcher, number 21, was giving the Dikembe Mutombo wave to Coach Womack as he was walking away.
Well, we've got it on film, and I know Coach Womack goes back and watches after the fact, but
1-1 count to Danny Bustamante. That ball is in the dirt. Doesn't make it to home plate. Bounces right in front of the catcher. Ball 2.
seems like both pitchers are having release issues as you see a little practice motion from Shepler after that. He had a follow-through that he wanted, didn't get it there. Thankfully for the Warriors, Gomez is retired, or he would have made it to second base on a pitch like that.
2-1 pitch. Looked at.
Away.
Ball 3.
Away.
The difference between the Colts and the Warriors have been crowding the plate all game. So those calls that the Warriors fans aren't happy about, Bustamante getting there as a ball, the Warriors are getting called strikes because they're crowding everything. 3-1. That ball is hit over the second baseman. That's going to bounce into the outfield. First hit for the Colts. 2-out piece of hitting by Danny Bustamante to bring up Mason Hensley, all district shortstop with a runner on. Colts get their first hit of the ball game.
Happens here in the bottom of the third inning. And a conversation on the mound with the infield, but it is head coach Paul Yilda tapping the chest of Shepler as the rest of the infield comes in to join the conversation. A 2-out single, as you mentioned. Bustamante representing the first base hit of the game. The no-hitter broken up here in the third inning. And looks like Bustamante will run for himself. He has the option for a courtesy runner. Does not look like he will be taking it, though.
And just making a note, there's a PA announcement. If you have a black Chevy, your lights are on in the parking lot. Black Chevy SUV, your lights are on in the parking lot.
Unless you're one of the people tuning into the ball game from the ball field, I would imagine most folks are tuning in because they couldn't make it out here.
And if you are, come by and say hi and let us know. We appreciate
come give us a fist bump. We're in the main concourse behind home plate to the right.
Big lefty. Mason Hensley steps in the batter's box, looks at a ball. Ball 1.
If you're tuning in remotely, you can subscribe to the channel, and after 10 short minutes, you can join the chat and let us know where you're tuning in from. If you're a South fan, join the chat and tell us that so we can thank you for tuning in tonight.
The 1-0 pitch. High. Pitch out. Ball 2. Bustamante still at first. The first hit of the ball game for the Colts was that single to right center field for Danny Bustamante. Mason Hensley, he went 1 for 4 versus Haltom on Friday, looking to get a big hit here. 2-0 pitch, breaking ball, strike 1. The Warrior fans were cheering before the ball even reached over home plate.
I mean, it took about a week and a half before it finally crossed the plate, so of course you had to start cheering first.
2-1 count, 2 out. Bottom of the third. Colts looking to try to get that runner from first in to get something on the scoreboard. 2-1 pitch, breaking ball. Delayed count, but ball, so strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Very delayed call there.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out to the left-handed hitting shortstop, Mason Hensley. Bustamante has a good lead at first. Shepler's pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and the Colts are going to go down, leaving Bustamante at first base. Going to the top of the 4th inning with the Colts trailing 4-0 to the South Grand Prairie Warriors. This is Zach Arnold Productions bringing you Colt Baseball, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back.
John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades, and they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com. Looking for the most unique gift for your student or athlete? Local Legends Figures has you covered. The custom 6-inch figures are designed with you and your legend in mind. They even immortalize yours truly with a custom, never-before-used model to create a Zach the Voice figure for my 30th birthday. Huge thanks to our friends at Local Legends Figures. See pricing and place orders at locallegendsfigures.com.
Fourth inning about to get underway here at Colt Field. And we've got not one, not two, but 3 happy anniversary wishes. Technically 4, I would suppose. Does your wife ever tune into these broadcasts?
Sometimes, but she gets off of work around 7:30. She might be listening now. If not,
It's a little after 8 o'clock. Who knows?
she'll
But
be home.
we want to extend happy anniversary wishes to the Hollies as well as my parents, who got married on the same day just a couple of decades before you guys did. But there are 3 people who believe so much in what Zach Arnold Productions does that they would be willing to spend their wedding anniversary on a headset calling a baseball game. I know you said your wife had to work and you guys have other plans later on. My parents have other plans for Thursday as well, but we want to give a special happy anniversary shout out to the Hollies and the Arnolds. Bustamante delivers a strike. Isaac Rios, the top of the order, leading things off for the Warriors here. And the outside corner gets clipped. It's 0-2 now.
Yeah, we were lucky to spend our anniversary last week with UTA having their spring break a week early compared to other schools in the city. TCC, I know, is having theirs this week, so we were able to have ours last week.
3 pitches and a strikeout for Bustamante.
Good job, Bustamante. 3 straight strikeouts. 3 straight pitches, 3 strikeouts on the game. Ross and Rios, the 2 R's, have the 3 strikeouts for the Warriors.
That'll take us to Martinez. 1 for 2 on the evening. Got a single to center field and a run scored. 1 of the 4 runs that were scored. High heater, neck high for ball 1. This one's back behind the glove of Bustamante. Hensley will play it on the weird hop, and Martinez will reach safely. I'm inclined to do an infield hit on that one. That was way out of Hensley's position. He had to recover it on a strange bobble. I think that's a single.
It was a tough play. Hensley had to slide over all the way to his left, basically in front of the second base bag. It kind of ate him up as he was going to pick it up off the ground, but it rolled.
I think if he picks it up, here's how I would credit it, though. If he picks it up and turns and fires accurately, it's still a tough play over at first base because of the speed of Martinez. So I'm inclined to go infield single on that as Dalen Brooks takes a look at strike 1 in his 3rd at-bat of the evening. Reached safely in both appearances. Got a double and reached on an E5 his last time up. This one's a chopper over the head of Bustamante. White not able to get it, but he gets it to Hensley, who does get the double play. I thought that White had gone past the bag and was going to have to eat it. Instead, he flips it to Hensley, and they get the 4-6-3 double play to end the inning.
Good job by White. I was the same way. I thought White had overran the bag. This little shovel scoop to Hensley, double play, bang, bang.
So it's going to be another goose egg on the board as Arlington looking to mount a little bit of a rally headed into the middle of the 4th inning. And that means that it's time for the 4th inning stretch presented by our friends at Taqueria Taco Express. You can visit any of their locations on Taco Tuesday to get a 5 taco special and a large agua fresca for just $10. I hear rumors that their Waxahachie location is about to open soon, which would be their 5th location in the DFW area. Thanks to our 4th inning stretch partners, Taqueria Taco Express. We'll be back with more Baseball on Zap presented by John Wade Roofing after this.
Taqueria Taco Express is now the official taqueria of Zach Arnold Productions. They feature 3 convenient locations, including 2 in Arlington and the original site on the Grand Prairie border at I-20 in Great Southwest. Their Taco Tuesday special includes 5 tacos and an agua fresca for just $10. Made from scratch with authentic recipes, you can place single or bulk orders online by going to taqueriatacoexpress.com.
If you're a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage, or perhaps just navigating the complexities of Medicare, look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent agency with over 50 years of experience, specializing in tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need property, liability, commercial auto, or even life and health insurance, their agents can help you feel secure in selecting the insurance you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 817-265-3346.
Bottom of the fourth inning quickly getting underway here at Colt Field. The first pitch to Matthew Wynn was a liner foul along the third baseline for an 0-1 count here.
Had his fellow coach in the dugout ducking for that one.
So it's an 0-1 count to the first baseman, three-hole hitter. It'll be 3-4-5 in the Arlington lineup here in the fourth. Wynn chops that one foul as well, and it's 0-2.
Colts have one hit so far through 3 innings. That was Danny Bustamante who got the single last inning with a nice shot over the second baseman's head that bounced out into right center field.
The 0-2, check swing, and he will get a piece of that one and foul it off. Wynn flew out to left field rather. At 7.
Wynn's last 4 at bats going back to last Friday with Haltom, they were all good contact that he was able to make, just not able to find a gap to get that ball to land anywhere in a position that he could make something do out of.
Schepler back out for his fourth inning of work, got 3 strikeouts already. Was looking for his fourth one there, but Wynn will keep the at-bat alive for one more pitch. Wynn headed to Division III Austin College after this senior year. Will chop it towards shortstop. Backhand, deep throw, and it's going to pull the first baseman off the bag, and Matthew Wynn will reach safely. Martinez had to go to the gap and throw it probably a good 40 yards to get it over to Arpero, and it will pull him off the bag and put Matthew Wynn aboard.
That was still a good play by Martinez. He was able to backhand it. He was too far, almost out into left field to try to get that ball back to first base.
Yeah, that was practically to shallow left field, and I'm going to credit an infield single to Matthew Wynn on that. He put it in the gap, and it would have been a tough play even if the throw was perfect. He legged that out well.
Yeah, I had that as a single from all the way through because there's no way that Martinez out short. But where he was at, he wasn't get that ball back to first. Wynn has enough speed to get to first from home. Get to first on a ball hit that hard.
That'll take us to London Prairie now. And he'll take a look at a strike. Struck out in his last at-bat. The only player on the Colt roster with multiple home runs this season. Another one here would be a big boost for this Colt offense. Off speed, drops in at the belt for called strike number 2.
Scheffler's doing a good job of changing the speeds. He's going from fastball to breaking ball, and the Colts aren't keying in on it.
It's crossing them up, yep.
Look for another fastball here, possibly on 0-2 after seeing that breaking ball.
I'm imagining chin high fastball. He's gone with a high heater on counts like this.
Make him chase. Fastball.
He does chase, and it's to the gap. Tough play for second base. The throw for the lead runner. Not in time. He's off the bag. That'll be an E4 on Carranza, and the 2 leadoff men are aboard for Arlington here in the bottom of the fourth. Prater will reach on the E4. Wynn reaches on the infield single. 2 on, nobody out for Abe Alvarado.
First chance this time the Colts have had this game to get somebody home. No outs. 2 on. You have a runner at second, technically in scoring position. So a good hit by Alvarado, who I saw last week had a good piece of hitting, even though the wind blew the ball back into the ballpark. Anything here in the gap, you have enough speed at second with wind to come in home and get the Colts onto the scoreboard.
Alvarado flew out to right field in his last at-bat. The wind is kind of pushing to right field as he calls timeout here. Got tired of waiting on Schepler. Alvarado standing on second base. Prater standing on first. And now Shepler will step off the back of the pitcher's plate as he is a little indecisive on what he wants.
Now the Colts fans here are coming alive at Arlington High all night. To my right, the Warrior fans have been alive, but now the Colts are coming alive now with 2 on, no outs in the bottom of the 4th.
Shepler looks at second, delivers. This one's a bouncer, and it's going to get away. Both runners are advancing on the wild pitch. Got away from Ethan Daniels and Karam to his right. It'll be ball 1 at the plate. And now 2 men in scoring position.
And for the first time, a wild pitch has affected the Warriors tonight and not the Colts. The Colts have had multiple wild pitches from Danny Bustamante to Jeremiah Taylor, but Taylor's done a good job of keeping the runners at bay. Now the Warriors have to have a chance to fill that pressure after that ball got away. And they have 2 runners in scoring position with 1 ball, no outs.
Next pitch to Alvarado. Low and away for ball 2. I think everybody in attendance here understands the implications of a ball game like this, Jod. I know it's only the second series of the district. And a warning has been issued to the Colt dugout about the Florida State Tomahawk chant that they were doing in their dugout.
I thought it was the stands doing the chant.
No, that was the Colt players telling them that they need to stop when he begins his pitching motion, I would assume. The 2-0 is outside. That's ball 3 to Alvarado.
Good job by Alvarado. You know he's gonna come back with the ball at you, fastball. You just take it. Go to 3-1.
He's going to come over the heart of the plate here.
Don't swing at a bad pitch. Just let it go.
2 men reaching in their first 2 plate appearances in this inning. Both of them making it to scoring position. The 3-0 to Alvarado. That will be a called strike on the outside corner, and it'll bring it to 3-1.
That's a good job by Alvarado on the 3-0. You know he's coming back over the heart of the plate with a fastball. A good chance he's going to do it again here. He's going to try to make you chase it, something bad. Eventually, don't do it. 3-1 count. Let the bad pitch go and take the first base.
Hitters count for a man who's got a big hit. The 3-1. And he's worked it full. He lays off on something that clips the outside corner. 3-2 now to Alvarado.
Look for that. Like you said earlier, he's been coming back after those breaking balls with the chin high fastball.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 men on in scoring position for the Colts.
If it's chin high, lay off. If chin high, lay off.
Payoff pitch. And we'll do it again as he fouls that one into the parking lot. Headed for the GPISD school bus. About a half a dozen youngsters running out to the parking lot, but I saw somebody from AISD security using their golf cart. I think that's cheating.
Yeah, that's cheating. That's the head start. Well, there's an age on the kid's side. Kids can catch up.
3 balls and 2 strikes again. Shepler another payoff. Swings and misses. First base is unoccupied. They'll have to throw over to first. It will count as the strikeout. And that will be the first out of the inning to Gannon Howard.
And that's the bad pitch you don't want to swing at with the 3-2 count. When you see that ball
low.
start breaking, you just leave it.
It was low.
You can't. When you have a 3-0 count, there's a good job on 3-1 and 3-2 seeing the fastballs, but on 3-2 you see a breaking ball, you know he's not going to give you something to hit. You have to lay off of it.
So 2 men in scoring position now for Gannon Howard with 1 out.
4 strikeout tonight by Scheffler.
1 for each inning. Breaking pitch dips in at the knees to Howard for strike 1.
And now you give Scheffler all the confidence again after that strikeout. Now he knows he can come back, and there's this part of the lineup with breaking balls and make you guess.
0-1 the count with 1 out. Away for ball 1. The South fans thought that was good. 1 ball, 1 strike. As Howard lays off of it.
The difference is the Colts aren't crowding the plate, so a ball like that's outside is an actual outside pitch. The way the Warriors have been batting, they've been crowding the plate and making it harder for Bustamante to get those outside calls.
Bunt is squared up the first baseline and foul. Tried to surprise him with the suicide squeeze, and it goes too far up the first baseline.
Nobody from South Prairie was expecting that suicide squeeze. He might have been safe at first because the first baseman was far enough off the bag not to get there in time. but for sure a win would have came across the score. 1-2 count, one away.
New signs coming in from Coach Womack along that third base coach's box.
For either that bad breaking ball again or a chin-high fastball.
1-2. Bunt is squared up for again. Shepler. And they'll get the called strike 3 on the outside corner. Backwards K is issued, 5th of the evening for Shepler. And it'll be up to Hayden White to try to bring the men in from scoring position. White 0 for 1 on the evening with a strikeout, 1 of the 5 issued.
And Coach Womack's not happy about that, and I don't blame him in that situation. When you have a 1-2 count, you drop down a bunt, and then you pull it back with enough time to figure out what he's throwing at you, just to look at it, you got to swing.
First pitch, a called strike.
Because now you've almost squandered anything of a rally if you don't get these 2 runs in. That was a bad at bat there to end that at bat to get that for that 5th strikeout.
The 0-1. Breaking pitch breaks too low as White lays off it for ball 1. Second baseman Carranza playing in shallow right field. Case of a slap in the opposite direction.
Base hit brings you in 2 runs to get you on the scoreboard.
The 1-1. Swung on and swung through. Strike 2.
And now you're 1 strike away from letting South Grand Prairie off the hook there with 2 runners in scoring position. And the way the inning led off was something to build off of, and now you've gone back-to-back strikeouts. Fastball.
The 1-2. And there it goes. Shepler strikes out the side. Arlington leaves 2 men in scoring position. And it's still a 4-0 game as we head to the 5th. High school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be back right after this.
Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to hear Zach talk about things beyond the realm of sport, catch him with me, Ben Hart, on the Intergalactic Peace Coalition podcast. For nearly a decade, we've been geeking out on IPC about our favorite nerdy things. We have a back catalog of over 350 episodes diving into sci-fi and fantasy stories like no one else. Find the Intergalactic Peace Coalition at ipcpodcast.podbean.com or download via your favorite podcast app.
If you're like me and need printed materials to get your brand out there to the community, then you need Eka Signs. Conveniently located in central Arlington, Eka features a wide selection of shirts, hats, banners, yard signs, acrylics, magnets for your car, magnets for your fridge, tumblers, A-frames, and more. Call Eka at 817-617-2229 for more information and tell them Zap sent you.
Welcome back to Colt Field. Arlington and South Grand Prairie in a 4-0 ball game that favors the visitors. Jot, we were talking during the break that you've got to have quality at-bats when you have men in scoring position, and to strike out, 3 consecutive non-quality at-bats, and it ends the Arlington threat.
It's one thing to give up the first strikeout when you have 2 runners in scoring position, because then you still have something to build off of. So Alvarado, he worked the count and then struck out on it. After 3-0, it was 3-2. He swung out a bad pitch in the dirt, right? So, but you still have something to build off of. Howard and White, they looked at the ball and they didn't register to him. Howard, when you have 2 runners on, you have 1 out, you have a 1-2 count. You cannot pull the ball. You cannot drop a bunt, pull it back, and then watch the ball fly by you without registering a swing. Mm-hmm. That put you down already and gave the pitcher more confidence.
Total of 6 strikeouts now for the pitcher Shepler, 3 for his counterpart Bustamante. Couple more in this inning would keep Arlington in it as Ruben Carranza leads things off. And he went around on that one, so that'll bring his count to 1-1 leading off here in the top of the 5th inning.
The thing is for the Colts, Shepler, it was confident already. After the 3rd inning when he's wagging his finger at Coach Womack as that ball goes by for strike 2. But when he's wagging his finger like the Dikembe Mutombo at Coach Womack.
You're not going to let that go,
You can't let. No, it's as a high school kid, it's one thing to be confident, but it's another to do it at the visiting coach when you start to play them a second game. And in high school baseball is not the MLB where there is a receipt coming, but you don't do that to a coach.
You shouldn't do it to anybody. Strike 3 is called. JT dropped it and then applied the tag. Now throw it over to first. Throw it to first. And Wynn will get the step on first base. JT apparently did not apply the tag, and they had to throw it over to first base in order to ensure that Carranza was actually out. They were doing their traditional throw around the diamond, and Wynn had to actually step on first, but Carranza is retired on strikes.
The fourth strikeout for Bustamante. 2 of them on Ross, 1 on Rios. Now the 4th one there on Carranza. He settled down after the first two innings kind of got to him.
Yes.
And then the inning in the second, the error in the second, which gave them the second run to put it 4-0. But he settled down since then. Parking lot.
That one's headed out of play for Angel Arpero. He's reached safely twice. He had a single to left that plated the first 2 runs of the game and then reached on a hit by pitch in his last at bat. This one gets fouled straight back into the netting, headed our direction. And it's quickly 0-2 to the first baseman.
Since that second inning, Bustamante's only given up 2 hits, both are singles.
Chipped into the glove, and that is another strikeout. Make it 5 for Busta, and he's got back-to-back Ks.
Good job by Bustamante. He's settled down after the first 2 innings. Now the Colts hitters have to do something.
Right.
You cannot leave the bat on your shoulders.
He needs run support. So it'll be pitcher on pitcher as Schepler 2 for 2 with 2 singles to left in his 2 at-bats. Sending this one up, up, and down in fair territory for the weirdest bloop single you will ever see in high school baseball.
That was the same type of contact that led the game off with Rios, that had Taylor and Bustamante running into each other, colliding.
So Coach Womack coming out to have a conversation with the home plate umpire.
He's questioning if it was interference or not.
Jeremiah Taylor did have a little bit of
the bat hit the catcher
of an issue.
It's questioned because the bat hit the catcher on the swing.
Womack still talking up the baseline as the 2 officials will converge to the right of the pitcher's mound to discuss this situation. As it stands, Schepler reaches on an infield single that neither catcher nor pitcher were able to make the catch on.
That he's going to have a pinch runner if this play stands.
Conference continues as this critical district tilt continues well into the evening. Sun has gone down, but the wind has prevailed here in the heart of Arlington, Texas.
The question becomes, if you're Taylor and Bustamante, that's the same play you collided on in the first inning. Do you do a better job as you go throughout the week practicing, try to work on communication? Because that ball shouldn't land in between one of you.
So now it'll be Taryn McGrew, the right fielder, with a man aboard.
6, Taryn McGrew.
Guess it's going to go as the infield single.
Infield single. That's all it can go as.
3 hits for Schepler, all singles. Big lefty McGrew.
It went about 5 or 6 stories high. Do you have a number on that jersey by any chance there, Jet? That's running at first.
I do not. The way he's angled, I cannot see front or back.
Fouled off there by McGrew. That is a strike at the plate.
He's covered by Matthew Wynn now, so it makes it harder to see him.
McGrew. I got my monocular here. That is a number 5. Isaac Bertman, B-I-R-T-M-A-N, Bertman, running at first base.
McGrew in his last at bat tried to drop on a bunt that was caught by Jeremiah Taylor.
Yeah, that did not go well. Swing and a miss for strike number 2.
Neither did that.
McGrew trying to move Bertman over if possible. Bustamante trying to lay down his third consecutive scoreless half inning. The 0-2 home. The dirt kicked out of JT's glove, but it kicked out a little bit high and away for ball one.
Good eye-changing pitch there, something that Shepard's been doing all night. Bustamante did a good job there copying that high pitch, changing the eye level 1-2 count now.
It'll be 2-2. Good dig by Jeremiah Taylor. Bertman will return to first base.
Now you just have to connect, but you have to connect on it. You can't squander a 2-2 count if you're Bustamante. Get out this inning and get the Colts back out there hit again.
Deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. This one's in the dirt. It gets away from Taylor. Bertman will move over to second on the wild pitch.
Now we go from a 0-2 count to a 3-2 count.
It runs full now to Taryn McGrew. Officially 0 for 2 on the evening.
Did it settle Bustamante down?
Deep breaths, young man. JT will jump from his crouch to call a brief time. McGrew will step out of the box and step back in.
McGrew's 0 for 2. Bustamante is looking to make him 0 for 3.
Payoff pitch. Ball 4, lost him. Free pass will put 2 men on and 2 men out for Giovanni Orozco.
That's the first left-handed batter for the Warriors to make it on base.
Orozco singled in his first at-bat, got a stolen base and scored a run. Reached on a 6-5 fielder's choice as Hensley threw it over to Alvarado for the force out during his last appearance. This one's also going to carry him away, and there go the runners. Jeremiah Taylor unable to grab that one. It's ball 1 to Orozco. Just focus on the man at the plate. Busta back to the traditional windup now as he delivers a strike on the outside corner.
There's nowhere for these guys to run. They can take off running all they want, as long as you focus on the guy in front of you. They run home, that's what your catcher's there for.
The 1-1 bounces in front of JT. He'll keep it there for ball 2.
We're at the top of 5. I wonder how long before you see somebody warm up and for Womack and the Colts.
We did see several different pitchers during tournament play. He has options. This one's in play to right field, and it's over the head of the right fielder, Prairie. 2 runs are going to score as this one goes all the way to the wall. Orozco's rounding second. He's headed for third. No throw. It's a 2-run RBI triple, and it's a 4-run swing as Arlington could have plated 2 in the previous inning, Jot, and here come 2 from SGP in this one.
I don't. I'm at a loss for words. You understand that at the end of the day, they're all high school kids, but they're all playing the sport. And high school kids now are held to different standards. In right field, the ball is coming at you. There seemed a very lackadaisical attempt at the play. The ball lands over his head, so he misjudged it. But to let 2 runners score, who were going to score either way at that point in time, but there's no emphasis out in right field to hustle to prevent the triple from happening. It just the things like that are fundamentals that as a fielder you need to be able to assess, right?
Right.
And then the same with the hitting. It's the same players that are hitting that are making the same mistakes fielding. Back to the 1-2 count in the previous inning where you had 1 out, you had 2 runners on third, a runner on third, and a runner on second. To drop a bunt down, pick it up, and not swing. It is the same player doing the same mistakes. So at some point in time, the fundamentals have to kick in, or somebody else could come and do those positions for you while you work through what the problem is.
Jake Ross is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. If there was ever anybody that Bustamante would want to face, it would be him. It's just unfortunate that this is the circumstance in which he finds it, because he did start with 2 consecutive strikeouts this half inning. This one's roped right field. It's snagged on the liner by Hayden White. The L4 will end the inning, but not before 2 more are plated, as South keeps 2 runs off of Arlington's scoreboard and puts 2 more on their own to make it 6-0. High School Baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing, will be right back.
Las albercas en Texas necesitan servicios durante todo el año. Romy Pools brinda servicios de calidad, incluyendo limpieza, mantenimiento y reparaciones. Llama al número 469-951-0107 para una consulta gratuita y pregunta por Roberto. Romy Pools, haremos que te enamores de tu alberca de nuevo.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Bottom of the 5th inning here at Arlington High. Zach Arnold on the call as Zach Shepler takes the mound. 6-0 in favor of the Warriors, which is still a far cry from the scoreboard that they had been operating with against Sam Houston. Across town, the Bowie Volunteers are in the 7th inning against those Sam Houston Texans. They lead by a score of 6-3. So the Texans not getting run ruled, putting up a fight against the 4-0 Volunteers, but they are an inning away from a 3-0 district start, looking to go 4-0 this week, heading into the series with Martin.
You're not getting run ruled, that's a positive, but at least you scored.
Jeremiah Taylor leading things off. Gomez should be the next man up, followed by the top of the order in Bustamante. And Taylor will look at ball 1 from Shepler. Taylor hit it to left field, and he'll put this one into shallow right, playable for the second baseman, and the F4 is recovered. Didn't even have time to say that he made Ross do a diving attempt for that out in the previous at-bat before he was retired. One away now for the left fielder. Gomez reached on an errored throw and then was caught in a rundown during a bunt mishap. First pitch to him there will be a called strike. Go ahead.
Tony Gomez's second at bat.
Mm-hmm. Arlington's had a tough time going through their batting order here tonight. Low and inside as Gomez has to shuffle away from it. The return game will be on Friday. Pops and I will be on the call for that one. Jot, you'll be at Bowie High School for the return game between the Volunteers and the Texans. A lot more high school baseball on Zach Arnold Productions on its way during the rest of this week as Gomez fouls that one away for strike 2.
Have a man in the bullpen. I believe it's Hensley. There's 2 men in the bullpen pitching.
The 1-2. In play, sharply to the shortstop, off his glove and into left field. That's a base hit for Yadier Gomez.
Gomez has reached safely for the second time this game.
Well, that's just another good, hard-fought at-bat. Defending the plate with 2 strikes, making the most of your opportunities, and finding your way aboard for the top of the order. Bustamante got a single to right field in his last at-bat. But Arlington running out of innings. Can they cook something up here in the 5th?
last time Bustamante was up to bat, Gomez got caught in a rundown between first and second. Bustamante was able to get the single after that, but there hasn't been much going on the base pass for the Colts.
Arpero is covering Gomez over at first base as the 0-1 comes home. And the off speed drops in for another called strike. It looked clavicle high and then drops in at the belt at the last second. Good placement there by Shepler. Bustamante with a couple of practice swings, and now off the back of the pitcher's plate goes Shepler. Looks like possibly something from the Colt bullpen made its way into the field of play, so they had to call time briefly. Nothing in 2. This one's in play. On the one hop is Rios. His only play is to first. The throw is in time for out number 2. Rios with a clean 5-3 after having an E5 the last time he had to play something in the hot corner. He will be the expected home game starter on Friday, as it was he and Shepler that were the 2 pitchers during the series against Sam Houston last week.
Why change it if it works?
If it's not broke, don't fix it. Mason Hensley, a walk and a strikeout in his 2 at-bats against Shepler. Got a man in scoring position here, but there are 2 outs. Shepler with a glance of Gomez. Hensley ripped that one into the bullpen. That'll be strike 1.
I believe Hensley was the one in the bullpen warming up a moment ago before he took his at-bat. I could tell by the very Nolan Ryan-esque windup.
The 0-1. That one's low, but corralled on the backhand by Ethan Daniels. And that will keep Gomez where he is at second base. 1-1 at the plate now to Hensley, as Sam Houston and Bowie look to be headed to the bottom of the 7th inning across town. That game also live on the Zap YouTube network. The 1-1. And the Warriors do not get the call. It's ball 2 inside to Hensley. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th. That one's outside for ball 3. Gomez with a little cat and mouse, forcing the South defense to call runner as Shepler was in the middle of his routine, which may have pushed the pitch wide. It's 3-1 now to Hensley.
Hensley, the left-hander, righty-lefty matchup. 3-1. Look for a comeback pitch here.
And he's going to put this in play, headed for right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Gomez is being waved around third. It's bobbled out there in shallow right, and the Colts will plate their first run of the game on the single by Hensley.
Good piece of hitting there by Mason Hensley. RBI single is what you need to get something going with 2 outs. Can't strand another base runner out there like the Colts have been doing. So a good piece of hitting. Found a spot right in front of right field. Right fielder's not going to roll out for it. Go ahead and take it. Gomez, just go ahead and run around.
It took a few innings, but the first run by the Colts is their first taco tally. All first runs of the game are presented by Taqueria Taco Express this season. Visit any of their 4 locations on Taco Tuesday for their $10 meal special. So the Colts avoid getting shut out. They get a run plated, and it'll take us to Matthew Wynn, who got a single to the infield in his last at-bat.
It possibly gives you a different approach going forward for the next 2 innings. Now you know you're not getting shut out. You have a chance to get – you've had a few chances this game to get something going.
Any kind of a rally.
Anything.
And Matthew Wynn has to squat into a catcher's crouch to avoid getting hit on the helmet for ball 1.
Nice crowd here at Arlington High. To the left, the Colts fans are cheering on their team.
And this one's skied into shallow right field. Who will make the play? The center fielder, Dalen Brooks, will record the F8, and the inning is over. But Arlington does plate their first run of the game, but they still have some work to do. It's 6-1 through 5. We'll be back with more high school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing, right after this.
Hey, Arlington residents, if you're like me and tired of rising insurance rates, then it's time to make the switch to Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services. Since 1984, they've been your trusted local insurance experts, offering competitive quotes for all your needs. Auto, homeowners, umbrella, renters, boats, and even classic cars. Why settle for less when you can get the best? Compare coverages today and see how much you can save by visiting chapman-cornelius.com. Chapman Cornelius, your local insurance partner since 1984.
Taquería Taco Express es la taquería oficial de Zach Arnold Productions. Extraordinaria y auténtica comida mexicana, aquí encontrarás el mejor menú para el paladar más exigente. Puedes visitarlos en una de sus 3 sucursales ubicadas en Arlington y en Prairie. No te pierdas de su grandioso especial todos los martes, Taco Tuesday, de 5 tacos y un agua fresca por solo $10. Para encontrarnos o hacer un pedido, visítalos a su página web taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Welcome to the top of the 6th inning here at Colt Field. It's the top of the 6th and the top of the order. Isaac Rios facing Danny Bustamante for the 4th time this evening. Popped out a 2-bagger and a strikeout in his previous 3 appearances.
Bustamante through 5 innings has surrendered 10 hits. He struck out 5 Warriors. He's given up 3 walks. 2 of those were hit by pitches. He's accounted for 5 earned runs. The 6th was on an error.
Ball number 1 delivered too low for Rios. Martinez and Brooks, the next men up. Strike 1 is issued at the knees. Got to admire the way Bustamante is battling. It's been dink and dunk. A couple of hits here, a couple of hits there, a couple of hits here. Arlington's offense was able to ignite. It might be, 6-3 or even 6-4 in certain cases, but instead he finds himself in a 6-1 hole. Run support. That's the bottom line.
The first 2 innings were tough coming out the gate for Danny Bustamante. The 3rd inning, they had 2 runners on for the Warriors, but he was able to settle down and get out of the inning with no problems.
Rios pops this one to right field. Prater's following it, and he'll watch it go over the fence. It hit the jet stream and just kept carrying. And Isaac Rios with a home run to right field for the Warriors to make it 7-1. They get the run right back.
That was an opposite field home run by a big, strong kid leading off the inning. He's the number 1 batter in the lineup, and Danny Bustamante's day is over.
I told you, he had a very short leash coming into this. We mentioned that during the break, and that prediction comes to fruition. 7-1 the score, and we'll have a new person on the mound when we come back. We'll let you know who it is after the break. This is High School Baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to hear Zach talk about things beyond the realm of sport, catch him with me, Ben Hart, on the Intergalactic Peace Coalition podcast. New episodes drop monthly featuring news, reviews, discussions, and tangents on all our favorite franchises, including Marvel, DC, Star Trek, Star Wars, Stranger Things, Harry Potter, Jurassic Park, Dune, Godzilla, Firefly, Pixar, Doctor Who, Indiana Jones, The Last of Us, James Bond, House of the Dragon, Ghostbusters. I think you get the picture. Find the Intergalactic Peace Coalition at ipcpodcast.podbean.com or download via your favorite podcast app.
Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Rami Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 469-951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Rami Pools LLC. We're gonna make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
New pitcher on the mound is the sign of a change. And the next time you need signs, banners, printed shirts, or other print materials, Ika Signs is the local printer to call. 817-617-2229 is the number. And tell them that Zach Arnold Productions sent you. New pitcher on the mound for your Arlington Colts, coming in relief of Danny Bustamante. It's the senior number 18, London Prairie. Prairie now on the mound for Arlington, and taking over defensive duties for him in right field is number 17, Sam Harper. Harper taking over defensively. Bustamante's time on the mound is done, but he will slide into the designated hitter role and will maintain his spot in the lineup to hit for Sam Harper.
Yeah, it was a struggle for Bustamante. He ended up the day with 11 hits, one of those being that home run to Rios, opposite field home run that got him pulled in the top of the sixth. He gave up 6 runs. He gave up 7 runs, but he was credited for 6 earned runs. 1 run was brought in on an error. 5 strikeouts and 3 walks. 2 of those walks were hit by pitchers earlier in the game.
And it's crazy how different high school baseball can be from one week to the next. Because you go from a perfect game exactly 7 days ago to a less than perfect game, to say the least, here this week. And you just have to figure out how to bounce back, because this is going to be a long district season. There's a lot more games left to play. You got to be like a quarterback and have a short memory. Shake this one off, examine the film, find out what you did wrong, and work on finding ways to be better next week.
The interesting thing for Bustamante, after having the perfect game last Tuesday, on Friday he was charged with 3 errors. So the struggle became Friday. You thought by today he'd have enough time to let that slip out of his mind, but it didn't seem to work. He ended up giving up those 7 runs. He ended up giving those 7 runs, and it's like you said, a matter of 7 days. It's a big thing that's changed for him. Hopefully between now and Friday, when we see them at South Grand Prairie, that he'll be in a different mindset and maybe come out and help his cause or help the cause of his pitcher.
Prater's coming in and delivering fastballs. It was a 1-1 count. That called strike makes it 1-2 now. New batter is the shortstop, Martinez. Martinez the third is what it says on the lineup card.
He calls
time. A lot of proud history in that family name of Martinez. If any of you are tuning in, thank you for being a part of tonight's broadcast. 1-2 is in play. Slow roller through the legs of Hayden White, and it's headed to right field. Harper will get it into second base, but Martinez will take 2 bases on the E4. I don't even have words. Moving on, next batter. Dalen Brooks. I don't have anything to say about that. I can't say anything about that. You're competing at the varsity level. That's a slow roller on your own field. You got to make that play.
Last Friday, he had the exact same situation, went right through his legs. It's just fundamentals. In that situation, let the ball hit. You put your glove on the ground, let it roll into you. If it bounces up, it's one thing. But on a slow roller, you gotta get that and fire to first.
That tailing pitch tails away from the new batter Brooks, but it does stay in the zone for a called strike 1. Brooks grounded into a double play in his last at-bat. That's not very feasible here in this inning. Prater's off speed gets him to offer and miss, making it 0-2.
Compete. The word Coach Womack used on Friday was compete. If we do everything that we need to do properly, do everything we need to do the right way, we should be able to compete. And if you're not doing things the right way, the competition level changes drastically, and that's where you're at, trailing 7-1 here in the top of the 6th.
The 0-2 fouled away.
Parking lot.
Barely got a piece of that one.
The security guard found it.
It's the bottom of the 7th. The tying run is at the plate for the Texans. They trail the Vols 6-3.
We'll do another 0-2 to Dalen Brooks. Glance of second. And the pitch home. Jeremiah Taylor will corral that ball number 1, which will keep the runner where he is. Username Salvation is calling you, saying thank you for your broadcast. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We appreciate everybody that participated in tonight's broadcast. Swing and a miss, chipped into the glove, and that will be out number 1 and strikeout number 1 for London Prater.
It's a good comeback there with 1-2 count. Slow pitch there. Make him change eye level, make him change speeds. Good job getting that first strikeout, get the first out of the inning.
Ruben Carranza, the next man up, and he will take a look at chin high, ball number 1. Aha, I was right, Jot. That username is the Martinez family. Robert II tuning in tonight. Family is very big to us as well here. The Colt family, the district family, and then our own personal families. A lot of people celebrating wedding anniversaries and still choosing to be a part of the baseball family here tonight. Family is very big for us as well.
5th generation Colt. My family's been here since the original Arlington High School around the corner, which is now on UTA's campus. So it's been a big family. Family is important to all of us.
1-1 at the plate here to Carranza. And that'll be ball 2 as that tailing pitch tails away.
And you should be very proud of Martinez. He's on base. He's gotten 2 hits, both singles. He got on base the 3rd time off the error, so he's been on base 3 of his 4 bats tonight. He's doing a good job out there.
Good for his on-base percentage, that's for sure. We're looking forward to the return game on Friday. South Grand Prairie's Booster Club has always been very gracious hosts to us. Coach Yilda has been very helpful and accommodating since we've started doing these broadcasts. So we look forward to Friday's rematch, as this one will go too far inside and go off of the shoulder of Carranza for the hit by pitch.
The wind wasn't very kind right there. The wind kind of
I got some dust up in my eyes there.
The wind kind of ran in and caught that ball and brought it in a lot closer to Carranza than it probably should have been. That is the 3rd hit by pitch by an Arlington pitcher tonight.
2 of them at Carranza's expense.
Hopefully he's okay. He's not bruised. He doesn't take anything too personally.
Well, as a very wise raccoon from the movie Over the Hedge once said, chicks dig scars.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
First pitch is going to get fouled
Into
out
the
of play
stands.
by Arpero into the stands and bounce into the parking lot.
That was actually into the stands this time.
Hit the stands, bounced, and then went into the parking lot for strike 1.
The very first batter, that ball popped straight up at us. And the whole time I was thinking, I'm connected to this headset. How do I move? And
How do I get out of the way?
I don't have a glove on me, and how do I protect the computer?
This is hundreds of dollars worth of equipment, so yeah, we've got to put our bodies over it if we can.
I took a fly ball once playing slow pitch softball, playing first base. I thought I had it, moved my glove out the lights, and popped me right in the mouth. So it wouldn't be the first time. The 1-0 pitch was outside, ball 1.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning.
2 runners on, runner on second, runner on first for Angel Arpero, who was also hit by a pitch previously in the 3rd inning.
Fastball, and it will go foul up the 3rd baseline. Good job there by Abe Alvarado, laying off of that, letting it go to strike 2. It's a final across town. Bowie takes game 1 of the home and home at Sam Houston, 6-3 Volunteers. They are now 3-0 in district. That game finishing up over on the Zap Network. The Lovebirds celebrating 38 years together. Shout out one more time to my parents, Doug and Patsy, on that call. Celebrating a win and celebrating their anniversary.
Those crazy Lovebirds. Drive home safely. Parking lot.
That one's going out of play. Heck, that one might be headed for the neighborhood. The trajectory that one had.
There's a kid out there in the parking lot ready to go get it.
How funny is that you would rather be hanging out in the parking lot hoping for a free ball rather than actually keeping up with how the game is going.
Hey, baseball's a souvenirs. When these kids make it one day, you're gonna remember that kid that got the foul ball. Arlington High, one of the famous alumni here was Hunter Pence. Played with Coach Womack.
Another one headed for foul territory. Harper trotting over to take a look at it. It will go out of play, and the at-bat will stay as it is.
So I'm sure whoever caught one of the foul balls from Hunter Pence here back in the day, he has an autograph somewhere at his house. 1-2 count here still. Mark Perro, big number 17. Yellow top, 17 and white with a red outline. SGP on the front, white with a red outline. White pants, red belt, red Nike shoes. Looking at a 1-2 count from Landon Prater. London Prater.
Swing and a miss, and that is out number 2 and strikeout number 2. So Shepler in the 6th spot, 3 for 3 with 3 singles.
Pitcher on pitcher matchup here.
The new pitcher, London Prater, with a couple of strikeouts, but also a couple of men aboard, trying to get out of the situation.
Parking lot.
Fouled away. Wonder if we need a parking lot tally for these home games. If somebody wants to sponsor that, please reach out to Zach the Voice on social media.
That ball is rolling under the bus, but the security guard in his.
You're going to have a little bit of trouble getting after that one.
The security guard was able to get it in his four-wheeler, his golf cart. He's cheating. These kids are using legs. He's using the golf cart.
0-1 to Shepler. Ripped. Foul. 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 men aboard here in the top of the 6th inning. So far, the only run plated was Isaac Rios' home run to lead off and chase off Danny Bustamante. Play is signaled as a new ball comes in. Everybody is ready to go. Prater with a quick glance of second as the dust storm kicks up in shortstop. Runners are going, and the hit and run is unsuccessful as Shepler fouls it off. He'll have to return.
See, one of the things I've noticed about this during this game, I noticed this a little bit on Friday that me and Tim had brought up during the Haltom series. Some of these at-bats for the visiting teams have been longer. They've been a lot more foul balls, a lot more contact, a lot longer stretched out. And I don't know if it's just the Arlington hitters are swinging earlier in the count, or they're getting so far behind that they have to swing and put it into play, and they're ending up with more ground balls. But the Haltom hitters last game.
Speaking of hit, that's a big hit down the left field line. And the left fielder slips, and they will hold up the runner at third. A second run will come across to make it 8-1 on the double down the left field line.
And the runner is down at third. When he came across third, he slipped. And he's face first. He's face down on the third base bag.
Yeah, that's Ruben Carranza who was hit by the pitch.
He's holding the back of his leg. Hopefully he didn't pull anything. Maybe it's just a cramp or a slight tug.
We'll count it as a double here for Shepler.
Shepler's
4 for 4.
First RBI too. 4 for 4. First RBI for the pitcher.
He's a little slow to get up, and he will take a pinch runner.
Big round of applause here for Carranza as he went around third. He almost over pursued it, ran around third. It looks like he might have stepped on the bag and pulled something. Hopefully it's just a cramp, or hopefully it's just a slight pull. Nothing too dangerous, but his teammates are able to help him up and carry him back to the dugout.
Pinch runner J.C. Lucio, number 2. Lucio now running at third.
Carranza's day might be over as well.
Courtesy runner over at second base, number 5, Isaac Bertman. 8-1 the score. as the double down the left field line plates another one. Prairie turns and delivers a fastball too far outside for ball one.
And correct me, I'm not 100% sure how the run rule works in high school. If you're up 8-1, if they were to score and make it 11, would Arlington get a chance to bat again?
They would, but it would be their final inning. JT with a throw down to second, and Bertman almost too far away. Ball two at the plate. Still with 2 outs.
Good pop-up action there by Jeremiah Taylor. Models his game after Pudge. The one Braves fan on this Colts team.
Ball three, as that one's delivered too far inside here to Taryn McGrew.
McGrew walked in his last at bat, looking at a second walk upcoming if he's able to get a ball here.
He'll get the strike call on the inside corner there, does Prairie. He'll bring the count to 3-1. Hitters count.
Left-handed batters for South Grand Prairie, 0 for 4. But with 2 walks, and both walks were from McGrew.
From 2 different pitchers.
From 2 different pitchers.
Shows good patience at the plate from that young man.
Second walk surrendered to McGrew, and now the bases are loaded. For Giovanni Orozco. I got some dirt in my eye. Windstorm picked up. Now it's rotating around me.
Bases full of Warriors now with 2 outs as Prairie delivers an off speed for a called strike one.
Orozco has a single in the first inning and got a stolen base. He reached base on the 3rd inning off a 6-5 fielder choice, and then he got a 2-run triple in his last at bat.
He'll foul that one straight back into the netting to bring his count to 0-2.
Bases loaded, 2 strikes. Dangerous bat. Orozco up there at the plate.
Time gets called and awarded. Prater to the traditional windup. Turns and fires. Bouncer, but JT will keep it in front of him, and the runner will stay put. Just ball one here to Orozco. Defense playing straight away. Nobody covering their respective bases. 1-2 is in play. Hensley on the second hop will throw to White, who will step on the bag, and the inning is over. But not before another 2 spot is put up on the board. It's been 2-2, a couple of blanks, and then a couple more 2s in the tail end to make it an 8-1 SGP advantage. We'll be back with more high school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing, right after this.
Local Legends Figures immortalizes your athlete's achievements for a lifetime. Featuring 6-inch figures with poses in football, baseball, band, hockey, even lacrosse. Local Legends makes every effort to show their likeness down to every possible uniform detail. To order your custom figure, call 817-681-0319 or email orders at locallegendsfigures.com.
Zach Shepler's evening is officially done with supposedly the game in hand, lest Arlington can make a new rally. But a new pitcher on the mound is the sign of a pitching change, and the next time you need signs, banners, print materials, or anything else of that nature, stickers, yard signs, banners, you name it, Ika Signs is the local printer to call. 817-617-2229 is the number, and tell them Zap sent you. Jot, you gave me a number. Was that the number 7?
Number 7.
That is number 7, Isaac Leal, or Leal. Number 7, Leal. That's what I'm going to go with until somebody in the chat corrects me. Now on the mound after a 6 strikeout performance with just 1 run allowed from Zach Shepler. Pretty good outing as he is in line for the win. Looks like he will be facing, who is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we're not back to the top of the order, are we?
We are at we are at Landon Prater. London Prater.
We're at Prater. There we are. Took me a second to catch up to my score sheet. 4, 5, 6 in the Arlington lineup. Prater, Alvarado, Gannon, Howard. The young men due up for Arlington here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Jot, I know you said that you and your wife did a few things during the past spring break. Do you have any other anniversary plans for the day of or the week of?
The day of was today, so there's a good chance she'll be asleep by the time I get home, with it being almost 9:30. Tomorrow, I think it's just a regular Wednesday for us. Maybe do something nice for dinner. My daughter has swim lessons at 11. A little swimmer. My wife has violin lessons later in the day. So it's just business as usual for us in the middle of the week.
Yeah, when big days happen in the middle of the week, sometimes it's a little tough to do much on the day of. Leal's first pitch is too low to Prater for ball 1. A new pitcher versus pitcher matchup as Prater took over on the mound during the last half inning.
But as always, I love my wife, and I am grateful for the last 3 years we've been together. Been married, at least.
Strike 1, belt high on the inside corner there to Prater. I'm going to be coming up on 3 years this September with my lovely wife. We'll have to figure out when we're going to be out of town for our anniversary, because you'll probably need to be on the call for that during football season.
I thought you were giving me a compliment saying that we've been together for almost 3 years.
I mean, that's pretty close. As strike gets called to Prater, it's 1 and 2.
Your anniversary is the first day I got to commentate a game by myself.
That's true. You filled in for me because all the people that usually would fill in for me were at my rehearsal dinner. The 1-2. This one's lofted to center field. Brooks is chasing it, and he'll have to watch it go over his head. All the way to the 425 part of the wall. Prater's still running. He's headed for third. It's a stand-up triple to lead things off for Prater. All the way to the wall.
Center field here at Arlington High School is 425 straight away.
Did I say 325? I meant 425.
That ball was hit about 408. Any other part of the field, that is a home run. Good piece of hitting by London Prater. Sorry, I keep saying Landon Prater. It's London Prater.
London
Bridge.
You can't read your own chicken scratch.
I'm sorry. O's and A's look alike at 9:30 at night.
So Abe Alvarado, 0 for 2 on the evening. We'll take a look at a called strike 1 with Prater in scoring position. The 0-1. This one's lofted to left field. It's in the air. It's going, and it's playable. Fielded out there by Ross. Prater will tag and come in to score easily. The F7 will plate Arlington's second run on the sacrifice RBI.
I cut the score from 8-1 to 8-2.
Hey, every little bit helps. Got to start somewhere. 2 at-bats and a run. We got to stay optimistic.
Always.
First pitch to Gannon Howard bottoms out underneath his swing for strike 1.
You cannot swing at that, though. You cannot swing at that.
Another one that bottoms out. This time he lays off of it. It'll bounce away from the catcher Daniels.
A final tally here for Zach Strepler, pitcher for South Grand Prairie. Gave up 3 hits, one earned run.
Up in the air. Second baseman Carranza calling for it. And he bobbled it out of the glove. And it'll be an E4. hits the ground as he put his glove close to his hip, trying to corral that, and just wasn't able to haul it in. And Howard is aboard with 1 out for Hayden White.
Every little piece of luck you can get counts.
Chipped into the glove there on the first pitch, strike 1 to Hayden White.
For Shepler, he ends his day giving up 3 hits, gave up 1 run. He had walked 1 Colt. The defense surrendered 2 errors before that third one there, and he struck out 6 Colts.
Pretty solid outing, especially considering how many runs of support he had. As that off-speed bottoms out underneath the offer from Hayden White, it's 0-2.
I think the batters heard me saying that you need to swing the bat when you have 2 strikes, and they're just
They're swinging with 1 strike. They're swinging with no strikes.
yeah, swing with everything now. Good or bad pitch, they're swinging at everything.
And there's a nasty off speed. It's an 0 for 3 evening for Hayden White, unfortunately. And that is out number 2.
He has the hat trick. All 3 bats, all 3 strikeouts.
And Arlington will send in a pinch hitter in the form of Axel Alvarado here in the spot of Jeremiah Taylor.
No.
Axel, the cousin of the starting third baseman, Abe Alvarado. Usually see him as a catcher. He'll take some pinch hit offers here with a man aboard. First pitch to him is a fastball for a call, strike number 1. One on, 2 outs for the pinch hitter in the 8th spot of the order. Leal comes home, and Alvarado a little bit late on the swing will foul that one out of play.
That's in. Oh, almost went into the backyard.
Almost went into somebody's backyard.
It was saved by the pole.
I'm not going to bite on that one. 0-2.
Young Michigan fan to my right, go blue. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but go blue. That's besides the point. A little favoritism there.
Check swing. They say he went around. They'll have to throw it down to first base, and it goes wide. And so here comes the runner from second to third. And a good hustle play.
To strike him
with 2 outs. You are allowed to run to first like that. The throw was wide, so it'll be an E2 on Ethan Daniels. It does count as a strikeout to the pitcher Leal. But Axel Alvarado will reach on the drop third strike.
Yeah, you can't drop the ball on a third strike like that. That's an error.
And the runner at first makes it all the way to third. And now Jeremiah Taylor will re-enter for Axel Alvarado. So it was just a pinch hit with a re-enter situation. Although I imagine with 2 outs and JT being on the base paths that he's actually coming in for Axel so he can put his catcher's gear on. We'll have to wait and see if that plays out, but there's runners on the corners with 2 outs for Yadier Gamez. Got a single to left field in his last at-bat, having a quick conversation with Coach Womack. Score is currently 8-2 in favor of the visitors. The return ball game is Friday at SGP's Warrior Field. First pitch again scheduled for 7 p.m. I'll be on the call there with my pops, Doug, bringing you some Friday Night Lights action.
14, come in.
I will be at Bowie High School with Tim Costello on the call with me. He was my Friday night partner. Be at Bowie High School calling the second game of the Bowie Sam Houston series.
That one probably a little bit closer than most thought it would be. Gamez takes a look at ball one, low and away.
Two teams I had a chance to see during the Irving ISD tournament. Got a chance to watch a little bit of Sam Houston when they had played Cedar Hill. They have some good players there. They have a center fielder with a big arm, so it'll be interesting to watch them up close for a full game.
Runner is going. Strike will be called as JT will get a clean steal, and it'll be a 1-1 count at the plate to Gomez.
To put two runners in scoring position, the Colts still trail 8-2. So looking to do a little something here in the bottom of the sixth to make the bottom of the seventh a little bit easier for an attempt to a rally. Time is called. Gomez takes a moment, checks on his ankle. He fell over first base earlier. Then he fell out in left field and trying to retrieve a single. So he's been on the ground a few times. Hopefully he's okay. Good enough to be able to get back into the batter's box. Left-handed hitter.
And he'll take a look at ball two, low and inside. Whatever conversation was had with Coach Womack, it probably had something to do with patience at the plate and waiting for a pitch that's yours. So far, he hasn't really seen something that he wants to put in play. He's ahead in the count as he calls a brief time.
See, this is something like we were saying earlier that South Grand Prairie and that Haltom last week did to Arlington. They took the time to make the pitcher think of what was coming next instead of just swinging. Arlington hitters most of the game early was swinging at first pitches, swinging at bad pitches low and in the dirt.
This one's headed our direction and over our heads to the parking lot as the wind swirls it out of play.
That ball went straight above me and curved to the left.
And it's a race between the golf cart and the youngsters trying to get it.
I think the golf cart's won a few of these races, but he has a head start.
Probably.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
2 men on.
And windstorm was coming again behind me. This wind.
It's a rather blustery day today. The 2-2 home. Oh, a sharply hit ball off of the netting. Gomez timed that one pretty well. Could not straighten out his swing, though. But he was waiting for an off-speed pitch and took a hard hack at that one.
See if you do it again. If he was a little bit more on time with that.
I feel like they're going to come back with a fastball, though. Now that they know he's got the off-speed or time, they're going to try to come back with something faster.
Righty-lefty matchup. If you get anything to come into you, you might be able to pull it down the right field line.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
2 on.
Another second and third situation for Arlington, the second one they've had tonight. And he's worked the count full. A quality at-bat for the bottom of the order, Yadier Gomez. 3-2 the count now.
There's nowhere to put him except for first.
Danny Bustamante standing by in the on-deck circle if Gomez could find his way aboard. Cheers from both fan stands as Gomez will call time, and it will be awarded.
Gomez is doing a good job making Lucio think of what he's going to throw on a 3-2 pitch.
Two strikeouts already for the reliever, although one of them reached. Another payoff pitch. Fouled out of play. We'll keep the at-bat alive as it goes to the grandstands right in front of the grill here at Arlington High Colt Field. Third baseman Rios came up from his third base position to see if he could make an offer at it. A little bit too far out of play.
The baseball there smelt the hamburgers coming from the stands, and it was pretty hungry.
I mean, if you're within a 2-block radius, it's hard not to be able to smell it, especially with the wind carrying it various directions.
Hey, it can lure anybody here. It smells really good. Not going to lie to you. Just take my word for it, folks. Good
Or
smell
come on
hamburger.
out. Payoff pitch. This one's in play. Slow roller. Third baseman Rios plays it. And the throw is in time. He's had a little bit of trouble making those plays defensively in previous innings. But the 5-3 will leave Arlington stranded at second and third for the second time this evening. We're headed to the final frame unless the Colts can mount a rally. It's the Warriors 8 and Arlington 2. It's high school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing when we come back.
A-frames that bring their A game. The next time you need to get your brand out to the community, go with the printers who are in your community, Eka Signs. With everything from wall signs to banners, printed tees to hats, Eka can even do same-day rush orders on select products. Visit ekasigns.com/shop to see their full list. That's ikasigns.com/shop. Eka Signs, a partner of Zach Arnold Productions. If you're a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage, or perhaps just navigating the complexities of Medicare, look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent agency with over 50 years of experience, specializing in tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need property, liability, commercial auto, or even life and health insurance, their agents can help you feel secure in selecting the insurance you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 817-265-3346.
Welcome to the 7th inning here at Arlington High School. Zach Arnold, Jot Holly, bringing you this District 8-6A action between SGP and Arlington High. Glad you could spend your Tuesday evening with us. Hope you'll be back on Friday for the rematch. South Grand Prairie won the game at Arlington High last year as well by a score of 2-0 before Arlington had their bats awoken with a vengeance in an 11-2 victory at South during the last time these two teams played. Coming into tonight, Arlington had actually won 3 of the previous 4 matchups. And that streak is a little bit on the line here tonight, with the score being 8-2 in favor of the Warriors. Coach Paul Yilda is having a conversation with the home plate umpire, possibly telling him to anticipate potential pinch hitters, but it is going to be the left fielder Jake Ross leading things off, 0 for 3 on the evening, facing London Prater for the first time tonight. A couple of strikeouts and then a line out to second base.
And sometimes, like we said this last year during certain parts of the season. Sometimes you need games like this to get you back to doing the little things.
Fastball blown right by Ross for a swing and strike 1.
Sometimes you don't never want to get beat, obviously, but losing the game like you did on Friday and losing like you are now, if this score holds,
Ball 1.
It gives you something to work forward to, because I've seen 2 bad losses now. These are the things that I know we need to work on going forward. Little things, not rushing when you're trying to get the ball fired over the first if you're an infielder on defense. Working the count more, like you've seen Halston do, like you're seeing Ross do now, the 2-1 count after that ball 2 pitch. Working the count more, knowing that you have to get their pitchers to dig deeper to find something, not swinging on an 0-1, not swinging on a 1-1. Figuring out what they have, especially early.
Fastball missed again to bring the count to 2-2. Arlington's series next week will be against Sam Houston, which is a team that has historically struggled in District 8-6A, so their record stands a chance at improving regardless of the outcome of this series. But then after that, they play a much improved Bowie team who is off to a 3-0 district start, possibly headed to 4-0 as the count runs full here. Payoff pitch. Called! Strike 3 on the inside corner. And Ross is retired, looking.
3rd strikeout for Ross tonight. 2 batters, 1 batter for each team has the hat trick when it comes to striking out. Ross for South Grand Prairie and White for Arlington.
This will be Rios, the top of the order. Went opposite field and chased Danny Bustamante off of the hill. First pitch too far inside to him here for ball number 1.
It's a good job in that first pitch. You want to get guys like Rios and Martinez off the plate. They do crowd the plate with their stances. And that's why it's been a hard time, especially for Bustamante, to get certain pitches inside, get them called.
Tried to go to the other side of the strike zone, couldn't find it there either. It's 2-0. Prairie was one of the primary starting pitchers during tournament play, coming in a relief appearance here. And he gets the called strike here. He may not be a district starter right now, but he's making a name for himself attacking the strike zone. And when you get to the postseason, you need 3 pitchers. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of a rotation happens during the district slate. See if we get London Prater any starts during the district season. Give a breather to players like Alvarado or Bustamante. As Rios chases it, that one can't connect. Strike 2.
And when you are trying to figure out, like, I know Hensley came in as a reliever last week, and you can't take guys like Hensley out of the infield. Obviously, he's your all-district shortstop. But giving guys like Hensley and Prater a chance to pitch through district play, especially against teams that you know you probably could have a better chance against, like Grand Prairie and Sam Houston. Not saying any game is an automatic win, but teams that you can get better success on, it builds their confidence, so you can find a third pitcher going into the playoffs if you were to make the playoffs.
For sure. Next week for Arlington is Sam Houston. The week after that is the Bowie Series. Then it's Lamar, Grand Prairie, and then they finish district against their arch rival Martin. And he lost him. Ball 4 is issued to Rios, and he'll reach on the free pass.
Rios has been on base technically 3 times. He has a home run, he has a walk, and he has an RBI double. 2 for 4 with a walk, strikeout, home run, and RBI double in the second inning. Pregame Martinez, he is 2 for 3, and he reached on his last at bat on an error.
Pulls back on the offer for a bunt for ball 1 there.
Is that Martinez or is that a pinch hitter? You didn't see the number.
I didn't see any number. I hear the fans saying Rob, which is probably short for Robert. He takes a look at a strike there.
1-1 count. Martinez has been on base 3 times, technically. 2 for 3, good game for him.
Fouls it straight back into the netting. It'll bring the count to 1-2.
One of those caught me off guard last week on Friday. I don't know if you happened to hear it on the playback, but I was so focused on the game. It came towards the pole, and I jumped. I wasn't expecting it.
You got to be alert when you're this close to the action. Wind covering Rios at the first base bag as the off speeder goes too high for ball 2. This one's lofted to right field. Could be trouble. At the base hit in front of Harper. A harmless single, though. As it goes over the head of White and in front of the right fielder. Rios will advance, and Martinez reaches safely again. 3 singles on the night for him.
3 singles. He flew out to center field to end the second inning, but he reached base in the 6th inning on an error. So he's had a very good game. Been on base 4 times technically tonight. That's a hard day's work for Martinez. It's gonna bring up Brooks, Dalen Brooks, and he's first pitch swinging.
Whoa.
So far this inning, we've seen Ross strike out first at bat. Rios has reached base on a walk, and Martinez just reached base on that single. Still a lot of South Grand Prairie fans here. Arlington fans have slowly trickled out.
So far, the viewership has not trickled out, though. We appreciate everybody staying strong with us here. As this one gets past Jeremiah Taylor, and the wild pitch will give another 90 feet to the SGP base runners.
That's one thing that's hurt Arlington a lot too. Wild pitches that have been able to get the runners to advance. Seems like every inning South Grand Prairie's had a runner in scoring position at some point in time throughout the game. 1-1 count, 1 out. Dalen Brooks, the number 3 man in this lineup. He got a double. He grounded out. It's a double play, and he struck out. He grounds his ball to Mason Hensley, who has a hard time fielding it. It eats him up. One run's going to score. Another run's going to come around to score, and that is going to extend the lead 10-2. That ball ate up Mason Hensley on what should have just been a ground ball fired over the first or fired over to home to get one of the sure outs. Instead, it's going to have one runner on Dalen Brooks. 2 runs come across the score. The Warriors lead 10-2, and still 1 out at the top of the 7th. And I believe we're going to have a pinch hitter.
Now batting for the Warriors, number 12, Juan Ramirez.
Juan Ramirez, number 12,
Coming in for Carranza.
who we saw escorted off after running around, after falling on third base. Looks like he twisted something or might have pulled something in the back of his thigh. So hopefully Carranzo's okay. Ramirez be batting for Carranza.
2 more runs across as a runner occupies first base in the form of Brooks.
After that E6 on Mason Hensley, all district. The first pitch to Ramirez. Foul tip back to the net, strike 1. On Friday, Colts had 6 errors. Tonight, they have 3.
And that one costs them another critical 2 runs.
At the end of Carranza's day, we'll go ahead and point it out. He reached base twice by 2 hit by pitches, and he went 0 for 2. He struck out and he grounded out to short in the second at bat. So he went 0 for 2, and he reached base twice on 2 hit by pitches. For anybody counting at home.
Prater fires a fastball past the swing of Ramirez for strike 2. Prater looks at Brooks. Fastball is too high and away. That's ball 1.
Only one of the starting 9 for South Grand Prairie did not reach base safely for the Warriors tonight, and that is Ross, the number 9 hitter who struck out 3 times. I mean, he's gone 0 for 4 currently, unless he comes up to bat again. That ball is
Parking
over
lot.
the light. Parking lot. Golf carts got it.
Of course they do.
Do it again. 1-2 count. Ross, he's the only batter for South Grand Prairie not to reach base safely on a hit or a walk. So the Warriors have been able to get anything they wanted by hitting, patient, getting walks, getting hit by pitches.
Another 1-2 at the plate. And the off speed catches him. And that is another strikeout for London Prater. He's got 4 in this relief outing. If there was a bright spot to look at. Arpero in the correct batting spot.
Arpero 1 for 3. He was hit by a pitch in the third. He led the scoring off for the Warriors in the first inning with a 2-run single. But then he struck out his last 2 at bats. 1 for 3, 2 RBIs, and a hit by pitch. For anybody counting at home. We know we have a lot of statisticians out there.
I'm sure somebody is. Or we just do it for ourselves just so that we keep up with things correctly.
Sometimes there's nothing wrong with having stats just written down for later on in the season. Little things you can pick out.
Called strike on the outside corner there.
Two away here at the top of the 7th. For the Colts, when they come up to bat in the bottom of the 7th, we have Bustamante, Hensley, and Wynn. 1, 2, 3.
This one's up the middle, where the defense is not. Clean base hit to center field.
The Warriors are just able to get anything they ask for today. It's like going to McDonald's and asking for service. Maybe not asking for dipping sauces, but asking for service.
I don't know. I feel like Chick-fil-A offers better attentive service than McDonald's does.
That is true. And they give you the dipping sauce without having to tell you it's a quarter.
You know, on the app they do give you a limit, but there is a workaround.
I believe we're having a pinch runner. The runner on second's is having a meeting with the coach. Coach Womack's going to have a meeting at the mound with Prairie. So the runners are having a meeting.
Is this a meeting of the minds? I'm not sure what's going on here.
I'm not too sure.
I don't believe this is a defensive substitution. Prater is pitching well. He has no reason to be substituted for in this final out situation.
Not when you're down 10-2.
Right.
This just might be a defensive setup. Say, hey guys, try to get out this inning as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see South Grand Prairie being aggressive and trying to run here.
Seven.
So Isaac Leal will bat
In the place of Shepler, Leal is the pitcher.
in the pitcher spot. That makes sense.
His first bat of the night. Arpero at first. He has reached base twice. Brooks at second.
Defense playing the corners, trying to prevent something deep down the line. Bunt is squared up for and pulled back. Taylor with the zip throw. The tag is not in time. Alvarado fell trying to catch the zip throw. Tried to swing his arm around as strike one is thrown at the plate.
It's a good play, though, by Alvarado. I mean, he was there. He just slipped on the tag. Taylor, he knew what was coming, basically. He popped up and ran straight for it. I think Coach Womack had an idea of what was happening there. I'm surprised with the 8-run lead that you try to drop down a bunt. Unless you're just trying to get through the inning.
Ooh, way too far inside as Leal has to jump away from it.
Got brushed back there.
Ball two inside now. 2-1 the count.
2 runs have already came across the score in the top of the 7th.
And 2 more in scoring position. Trying to get the call. JT tries to frame it at the knees. Doesn't get it. And it is from 0-1 all the way to 3-1. Should have brought my windbreaker.
I don't know if that was going to stop the wind.
Balk gets called on Prater, and Brooks will come in to score. No pitch. But it is 11-2.
What's the old expression? Anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
3-1. Dotson a bounce away, but JT does recover that ball 4 as Leal gets the free pass. Still looking for that elusive third out as Taryn McGrew will stay in his spot in the lineup. Couple of walks. Technically 0 for 2 since walks don't count towards your at-bat.
Colts are running somebody out into the bullpen there. See if they try and get it warmed up quickly.
Well, with it being the 7th inning, either way, if another run comes across, one way or another, this game is going to be over in the 7th. Swing and a miss there. Nothing and 1 the count to McGrew. Colts still looking for that third out. Runner goes. JT will throw to nobody as it heads to center field, and the 12th run will score. Neither middle infielder was converging on the stolen base runner.
And all Taylor can do is shake his head on that.
Arpero will come in to score after he got the single to center field during a time that feels like a lifetime ago.
I feel Jeremiah Taylor's pain. All you can do is shake your head on that because it's 2 plays this inning on runners going that you've made great throws in the vicinity of where the runner is going to be.
Nothing in 2 at the plate to McGrew. Prairie delivers it low and away for ball number 1.
McGrew looking for his first hit. So for 2, he's reached base twice, back-to-back walks. But his first 2 bats were he flew out to center field, and he flew out on a pop bunt to Jeremiah Taylor. This is his 5th at bat. Technically in the scoreboard, he's 0 for 2 with the 2 walks.
Another 1-2 from Prairie. Swung on and swung through. Prairie gets his 5th K in his relief appearance, but McGrew will end the 4 runs that get plated here in the top of the 7th to put the exclamation mark on this ball game. Stick around for the final 3 outs. It's high school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing when we come back.
If you're a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage, or perhaps just navigating the complexities of Medicare, look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent agency with over 50 years of experience, specializing in tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need property, liability, commercial auto, or even life and health insurance, their agents can help you feel secure in selecting the insurance you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 817-265-3346.
Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Rami Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 469-951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Rami Pools, LLC. We're going to make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
Fans, a reminder to stay tuned for the postgame show presented by John Wade Roofing. At the immediate conclusion of this ball game, we'll have some thoughts and analysis on the outcome of this one, plus a look ahead to Friday's rematch over at Warrior Field on the south side of the city of Grand Prairie. Zach Arnold and Jot Holly on the call for this district tilt. I'll be back on the call for the other game, but due to scheduling and such, it'll be Pops that's joining me on the call for that one instead of Jot. He'll be over at the ballpark at Bowie to see if the Volunteers can make it a 4-0 district start, as number 4 here, Bustamante, swings and misses at the first pitch he sees. Check swing. Did he go around? Umpires indicating no. One ball and one strike to Busta. And he'll rip this one hard up the baseline. That's a fair ball.
That's a double.
That's an easy double for Bustamante. It's to the gap. Are they going to wave him for 3? No, they're going to give him a leadoff double, though, as Bustamante makes a little bit of noise here in the bottom of the 7th. Got a single to right field and now gets a 2-bagger down the left field line. Sharply hit ball that went past Rios all the way to the coffin corner for Ross, and it'll be a stand-up double for Busta. Mason Hensley digging in now. Got a single to right and an RBI in his last plate appearance. Leal steps off the back of the plate as Hensley, the switch hitter, will bat in the lefty batter's box to face the righty pitcher. If there was a southpaw on the mound, he'd be in the opposite box. He'll take a look at a chest-high strike number 1. Quick time by Hensley as he prepares for the 0-1 with a man in scoring position. Does not get the call there. Leal tried to put it in the same place, did not get the same result. It's 1-1.
Let's do some final tallies over here for South Grand Prairie's batters. Shepard, the pitcher, he went 4 for 4, a double, 3 singles. Rios went 2 for 4, a homer and a double. He also reached base off of a walk.
Hensley will foul that one straight back to bring it to a ball and 2 strikes.
Martinez went 3 for 4, 3 singles, reached base on an error. Carranza went 0 for 2, but he reached base on 2 hit by pitches. Alpero 2 for 4, 2 singles, reached base on a hit by pitch. And Orozco went 2 for 3, got a triple and a single. Big day for all the hitters. Every hitter except for one reached base safely at some point in time throughout the game.
That carom is too low. Daniel's able to keep it in front of him, though, as the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes for Hensley. Nobody covering the second base bag. Bustamante with a good lead. Too far inside, and the count is run full. Good at bat here by Mason Hensley, trying to find his way aboard. Let's see if Arlington can make a little bit of noise and have something to build off of going into the Friday return match.
Just one thing that you can take away, you can set when you're going through the Warrior stats, is just efficiency. Every batter was efficient and did their job at some point in time. And the Colts, on the other hand, just didn't have that efficiency when they were up at the plate. So that's one thing you can take away, and you can say, okay, we can work on this throughout the week. When Friday comes, we'll be more efficient. When it comes to the plate, we're gonna make the pitcher stretch his way through, and we're not swinging at 0-1 pitches. And when it's 1-2, you gotta get the bat off your shoulders.
Well, and runners in scoring position. Arlington has put runners at second and third 2 different times and not been able to bring them home. Hensley walks. Wynn is aboard now. And this one's going to carry him away, and both men will move into scoring position. Ball 1 at the plate as Bustamante moves to third and Hensley moves to second.
Biggest thing for Arlington that when you look at the end of the day in the box score is the 4th inning. The 4th inning is when you had runner on first, then you end up getting the runner moved over because of the error with the E4. You had runners on first and second. Those runners end up going to third and second off of a wild pitch. Then you had 3 straight strikeouts.
Yep.
So the 4th inning,
sharply fouled up that third baseline.
The 4th inning is the tell of this game. You had runners with a chance down 4-0 to cut into the lead with no outs. 2 guys on scoring position, 1 on third and 1 on second. You strike out 3 straight times, and then the last 2 strikeouts weren't even a challenge for Shepler. So that's something that you could take forward and say, look, we've had the chance. We had runners there. We have to do.
A little bit of chin music as Wynn has to duck away from that one.
We have to do something different when we have guys standing 90 feet away. That's why we're behind. It was the same way on Friday. It's the same way today. Going into next Friday, you can take that away. Say when guys get up there, we're working the counts. It's one thing to strike out on a 3-2 count because at least you put up a fight to make the pitcher work for the strikeout. But on a 1-2 count, you can't do that.
This one's headed to the gap, and that is all the way to the wall. Wynn will get a 2-run RBI double to cut into the lead. It's now 12-4. Big swing by Matthew Wynn to plate both men in scoring position. The first time they've been able to do that tonight.
That's what we were just saying. When you have runners on second and third in scoring position, you have to have your batters come up and make contact. Good piece of contact by Matthew Wynn to get those 2 runs across. Obviously, it's 10 runs too late, but you could take that. You could take that as a positive. Take it away.
Well, and London Prater got a triple all the way to the center field wall in his last at-bat. It's been a little while since he's been to the plate, but he has the potential to cut into this lead a little bit further. There's still nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. Off speed will go too low and then cross the plate. It's ball one.
Prater and Wynn, they're in the same situation in the fourth. They were the runners that were on third and second when the next three hitters came up and all struck out. So he's been in situations where he could score. It's just a matter of those behind him bringing him in.
And now it is ball number two. As Prater daring Leal to throw a strike now. And as soon as he does, here's hoping that Prater's power can turn on it. That's why he's in the cleanup spot. The 2-0. Down the pipe. Strike one called. Dared him to throw a strike, and he did. Still ahead in the count, though. It's 2-1. Leal tries to cycle through his pitches, finally sees what he likes. Quick glance of second. And ball three delivered near the brim of the helmet of the lengthy London Prater.
Prater's fourth at bat. He's reached base safely in two of the first three. He struck out in his first at bat. Reached on the error, as we talked about, the triple in his last at bat. So he's looking at a possibility of being on base 3 times out of 4 at bats tonight if he's able to get a ball here to get walked to first.
He's going to put this one in play, and it's going to go past the outstretched arms of Rios, and they're going to hold up the runner at third. It's going to be a simple single to left, but London Prater does reach safely again on the single to left.
There you go. He's been on base 3 times tonight.
That'll take us to Abe Alvarado. Still nobody out. Runners on the corners here in the bottom of the 7th. Arlington trying to make a little noise, and Coach Yilda may be making a change. He will indeed take the ball. And we will have a change here in the 7th inning. We'll let you know who the new pitcher is after the break. High school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing. This is why we play the full 7. We'll be right back. Zach Arnold Productions is proud to service the greater Arlington and DFW area. With experience in broadcasting, podcasting, web series, public address, marketing, and public relations, Zap can help you tackle any modern communications task. Whether you need an announcer for your sporting event or just need help proofing a press release, be sure to call 817-319-2402 to see how you can find energetic media solutions for your task with Zach Arnold Productions. PDA Advocacy Group supports CCMR, college, career, military readiness, a set of educational standards designed to help students be better prepared for post-high school life. If college-bound, take entrance tests, dual credit courses, earn a 2-year degree prior to graduation. If you're going to a career, take classes that will result in industry certification, mechanic, computers, welding, etc. The options are vast. Military? Enlist in the armed forces as a career. CCMR, driving towards success in life. New pitcher on the mound is the sign of a change, and the next time you need signs, banters, print materials, or anything else, stickers, shirts, yard signs, you name it, Eka Signs is the local printer to call. 817-617-2229 is the number to call. New pitcher on the mound for South Gray and Prairie here in the bottom of the 7th. Number 11, Matthew Smith. Smith coming in relief of Isaac Leal. He did get a couple of strikeouts, but ran into a little bit of trouble from this Arlington offense here in the bottom of the 7th, Jot. A 2-run RBI double, and now runners on the corners that he'll be on the hook for as the heart of the Arlington lineup continues to try to make noise. Abe Alvarado got to sacrifice his last time up, and he's got a man 90 feet away from scoring here.
Yeah, Leal's going to be responsible for 3 of the runs that came across, the 1 in the last inning and 2 in this inning. Like I said, he's still responsible for the runners on the corners with no outs. And it looks like we have somebody's getting carried off from first. One of the Colts is injured. Is that Prater?
He's hobbling, and he is having trouble putting weight
knee
on that leg.
It looks like his right knee from here.
I didn't see anything.
I didn't either.
We'll have to go back and watch the tape. But yeah, Murphy will now be running at first base. Colin Murphy, the pinch/courtesy runner, as Abraham Alvarado will come in now.
It's going to be a lefty on righty matchup here with Smith, the left-hander, up on the mound, coming in trying to seal the deal for the Warriors, who are up 12-4. Hopefully London Prater is okay. We didn't see what happened. It looked like he had reached base safely, but we looked up, he was getting carried off the field. We were so more distracted on the pitching change than anything else. The second pitch is low inside, 2-0 to Alvarado.
Southpaw with a twisting motion, trying to disguise the velocity until the last possible part of his rotation there.
This part of the lineup here is crucial. 5, 6, 7, not just right now, but going forward between Alvarado, Howard, and White. Those are guys that need to step up. They're the ones throughout this game that have yet to put any production up. No hits between the three of them. We've had a sac fly from Alvarado. It looks like another one here.
Headed to right field. It'll be played. Runner coming in, and it will not be in time. So the Colts do bring in Matthew Wynn to make it 12-5.
Back-to-back sac flies from Alvarado. First out of the inning here.
And if you're South Grand Prairie, you've got a pretty comfortable margin that you're willing to sacrifice an out for a run, because now you only need 2 more to end the ball game. Murphy still running at first base, being held there by Arpero. As a strike gets issued to Gannon Howard, he reached on a very confusing E4 that was in and out of the glove of the second baseman Carranza. Check swing, he went around, but he did not make contact, so Murphy will trot down to second base on the pass ball. Nothing in 2 at the plate, though, as another man moves into scoring position. Swung on and swung through. Gannon Howard is retired on strikes, and Arlington is down to their final out of the ball game.
Second strikeout for Howard. He's going to end the day with 0 for 3. He reached base in the 6th inning on an E4, like we said, the one that popped out of the second baseman's glove. But it's going to be a very frustrating day for Howard, the center fielder.
Strike 1 is issued to Hayden White. 0 for 3, all 3 appearances strikeouts. Fans, a reminder to stay tuned for the postgame show presented by John Wade Roofing. At the immediate conclusion of this ball game, we'll have some thoughts and analysis on this one, plus a look ahead to Friday's rematch. This one's in the dirt. Daniels able to corral it for ball 1. One and 1, 2 outs. Smith, a look over the left shoulder, and delivers ball 2 high and away. And now it's ball 3, as Hayden White trying to find his way aboard and extend the ball game if he can. Hitters count here for the second baseman. And they'll call strike 2 at the knees to work it full. Quality at bat here for White. Would be a shame to see it end. Three balls, 2 strikes, payoff pitch. And they get the called strike 3. White is caught looking. Smith does his job and slams the door. And the game is over. Final score in this one, South Grand Prairie 12, Arlington 5. As we go ahead and bring you into the postgame show presented by John Wade Roofing, Zach Arnold and Jot Holly on the call for this one. Apparently our webcam isn't cooperating with us, Jot, so we'll just have to keep it with the field of play. But some fun facts about our friends at John Wade Roofing. John Sr. played for Arlington High and was the football's team MVP in 1976. He also played football for TCU and UTA, earning all conference and conference champion honors. After a stint with the Houston Oilers, he started roofing in 1982 and never looked back. His legacy on the gridiron is now matched by the legacy the company has built in the community for over 40 years. The next time you have roofing needs, gutters, painting, solar, or more, call the family that does more at 817-265-5520. Jot, you mentioned that it was the entire lineup for South Grand Prairie that was able to make a difference. How many total base hits did the team have?
Woo! I need a calculator here real quick. Just the game escalated really quickly. 2, 3, 2, 6, 8, 12, 14. 14 hits, and that's not counting the additional amount of walks that South Grand Prairie was able to attain. It became to the point that only one hitter of the original starting 9 starters did not get a hit today. That was the number 9 hitter, Ross, who struck out 3 times. Other than that, everybody else reached base either off of a hit, a walk, or then in some cases it was a home run from Rios.
Yeah, it was an up and down performance, and Shepler was pretty solid as well. Arlington's runs did not really come until the tail end of the ball game when it was already pretty much in hand. They did plate 3 in that 7th inning. They made a little bit of noise, but they need to be able to do that more consistently rather than try to play from behind, which is what they did tonight. If Arlington can get those people in scoring position home, like you said, during those early innings, then they don't have to stress about it quite as much in the later innings.
It became I know I'll go back to Friday. Friday, they had 6 errors. They cut down on the errors tonight. They only had 3 errors throughout the game, just throughout the game scattered. 3 errors is still a lot, but it's an improvement from having 6 on Friday against Haltom. But when your 5, 6, 7, and 8 hitters go 0 for 10, that is not a stat that you want to write home about. Your top 4 hitters, Bustamante had 2 hits. Hensley had a hit and he reached base on a walk. Wynn went 2 for 4 and reached base. Prairie went 2 for 3 with a triple and a single. And Gamez, your number 9 hitter, reached base on an error, reached base on a single, went 1 for 2 technically with that extra a chance on base with an error. But 5, 6, 7, and 8. And Alvarado, your number 5 hitter, had 2 sacrifice flies, so he still did his job as a hitter, getting runners into position or bringing runners home with the sac flies that 1 through 4 were able to get on base. But when you have Howard, who struck out twice, White struck out 4 times, Taylor didn't reach base, but he did a lot behind the plate, it doesn't add to anything for your team. So you want to be consistent 1 through 9, the same way South Grand Prairie was tonight.
Well, the rematch is set for Friday at 7 p.m. at the home of the Warriors, and the Zap Network will be there for that game as well. But I think that is going to have to do it for this particular edition of High School Baseball on Zach Arnold Productions, presented by our friends at John Wade Roofing. Jot, thanks so much for being on the call with me tonight. Looking forward to hearing your call for the Bowie Volunteers on Friday. Thank you to everyone for supporting this broadcast by tuning in and for supporting local businesses and local broadcasters. That's going to do it for us here at Colt Field. Final score again, South Grand Prairie 12, Arlington 5. For Jot Holly, I'm Zach Arnold. Thanking you for tuning in and signing off for now. We'll see you all again on Friday. Until then, have a great night.